Western Oval. Umpire Greg Scroop, number 21, 26 Tim Pfeiffer, and 29 Steve McVerney. So some high Tatslotto numbers there, 21, 26 and 29. But it's going to be Greg Scroop to take the opening bounce at the Western Oval. A beautiful day, small crowd, but I think it's going to be a very good game. There it is, it's underway. Up they go. Gavin Rose gets the first tap down to Garlick. He lost it. Going through is Gasper. Kick off the ground by Atkins, but it's picked up by Garlick. Kicks the Swans up towards half forward. The ball comes out wide, taken by Barker. Gives the hand pass to Zanotti. Zanotti has one bounce, runs up towards the wing, delivers down towards the half forward flank, and the mark is taken down there for Fitzroy by Hawking. Now Hawking kicks in towards full forward with the breeze behind him. Dougie's down there and he's marked. Dougie Hawkins is marked 4 metres out directly in front. So the first possession going to Garlick of Sydney, who kicked the half forward. But after that, it was all one-way traffic with the Roy boys.
And look at them in the middle there. But they are, I've never seen a side like this. They are so pumped up.
They're going to hurt each other. Can you get reported for hitting there? Look at Zanotti, he's going berserk.
And Dougie's put it through. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't mind getting on the Roys. It's a bit late, they're jumped, but I'll tell you what. They are really fired up, Fitzroy, today. Maybe spurred on by what Gary Buckenauer wrote and said during the week after their performance last week against the Dockers at Fremantle. Fitzroy, 1 goal. Sydney, of course, yet to score.
Lovely bit of play, that. It really was. A nice movement of the ball, and Dougie was down there. Uncle Doug playing on Dale Lewis. Just put the hands up and away he went.
Any early score from Princes Park, Bobby Skilton?
No scores yet, Pete.
OK, and Subiaco starting in about 2 minutes.
Umpire Pfeiffer with the footy. Look out, Gavin Rose. Here comes Charlie Manson. He'll go right through you. They share the honours in the ruck contest. Baldwin takes possession, but he's well tackled and dispossessed. Daniels the spillage. Gives it to Ruse. Hot ball. Push in the back. Ruse is booed. And I don't think he'd be a popular person with Fitzroy people. He hand passes to Kickett. Kickett gives it out wide to Garlick, who puts the Swans into attack, and Bayes marks on his chest. Between wing and half forward flank. Could be a fair bit of fire in this game. Lockett on the lead. Beautiful delivery from Bayes. He can't mark, but the crumb falls the Swans' way to Creswell. He goes for goal and drills it. And Sydney pull that early Fitzroy goal back. And it's one each way in the first couple of minutes here. Good start at the Western Oval. Fitzroy 1 straight. Sydney 1 straight goal. Crackers.
Yes, and Big Plugger did move the pack then. They heard the earth shake when he ran past. It was a nice goal by Creswell, who was on the end of a hand pass and was a good balance up. And the answering goal, and it'll just be interesting to see if Fitzroy can keep the momentum going. But Sydney Swans, they're against the breeze, and it's probably about 3-goal breeze.
It's a goal apiece, yeah. 2.5 minutes first term. Kickett not starting in the starting 4 for the Swans. So I have heard he's got a bit of a hamstring twinge, but he's not in the action. Picked up by Kelly. Gets the hand pass across to Kapler. He gives it by hand to Kickett. Wide of centre, kicks up towards half forward. Gray takes a good mark. He's about 75 metres out from goal, kicking into the breeze. So Gray of the Sydney Swans. They've got a wall in front of Lockett. In fact, he kicks straight into the man on the mark. He's Dent. Gray gets the hand pass. It was meant for Kelly, but straight to Boyd of Fitzroy. And the skipper goes short to Pike, and Pike is marked on the Hawkins wing. The Roy boys have the breeze. Martin Pike, a high ball. Dunkley is there. Hawking went to ground. The ball goes to ground too. Off the pack, Dougie Hawkins is there. Lewis comes in to hail a cab. And there's going to be a free kick against Hawkins for holding the ball. Daniels gets the hand pass to Lewis. He in turn gives it to Kelly, who breaks away off half-back.
Kick in towards the centre. Scrubbing kick. Slides up towards the spot between the centre and the wing. Kapler gives it to McRae, who gets it out to Crawford, now to Creswell. Creswell on the burst. In fact, it was Huskus, not Crawford. Creswell in towards centre half forward, but not a well-placed kick. Baldwin drops a mark he should have taken. Manson dives on it. Shovels it to Paxman. Now to Atkins and on to Chandler, who kicks towards the centre line for Fitzroy. Off a pack, Zanotti. Fumble at the first attempt. Terrific shipment from little Chandler. That was gutsy stuff as he blocked Paul Ruse and paid for it, but he did the job for Fitzroy. Zanotti kicks to the centre line, but it's a free kick to Sydney. Not a popular one, I might add. And it goes to Gaspar for the Swans, who chips inboard to kick it.
Yes, in the middle of the Western Oval, takes the mark, then gets a hand pass to Creswell. Runs to half forward, delivers inside 50. Nobody there for the Swans. They've got a big wall in front of Big Tony. The ball comes to Chandler, gets the hand pass out, goes to Dent by hand, gives it to Big Charlie Manson. Manson now from centre half back. back for Fitzroy. Kicks up towards half forward. Good spoil Daniels. It might have been penalised at some stage over the shoulder, but he made sweet contact, so he was going for the ball. The ball goes to Rose. Handball back towards Daniels. He's in the middle of the Western Oval, and he goes short, and the mark has been taken by Crawford of Sydney. Plays on. High ball. 3. Lockett's got 4 to beat. Will he get it? Oh, yes, he's got it. 4 to beat. 2 or 3 of them flew, and there was another one just skirting for the spillage. They had 3 players in front of Tony Lockett. Boyd is off.
Yep.
Garner's come on. So Lockett now about 40 metres out. He could have a field day today and try and pick up some leeway on Gary Ablett and Severio Rocker. Although Ablett's got the Coleman medal all sealed up. Now it's a goal apiece here at the Western Oval. We've played 5 minutes. We'll get to Bobby in just a moment, and also underway just about at Subiaco, West Coast and Adelaide. Now Lockett, it's a lot of preparation time. The umpire yells out, hurry up. He's 40 metres out, just a bit off dead centre. It's a very good kick. It is straight through the middle. A magnificent kick by Tony Lockett. So Sydney lead by 2-1 here at the Western, almost 6 minutes in the first term. Bob at Princes Park.
6 minutes gone here at Princes Park, and it's 1- score to the Brisbane Bears, and that is all, Pete.
Underway, Raymond.
Play just underway here, Peter. Neither side has scored as yet.
Crackers.
It's going to be a long day, I think, for the Fitzroy defence. The way there was 4 of them down there, but Big Tony just came out and said, I'll take the red donut, thank you, and ate it and just kicked a goal. And they're against the breeze. Not good at the moment.
No, it looked very good, superficially perhaps at the start. Now it's brought down by Rose, but stolen for Fitzroy, and they're put into attack by a player who I didn't pick up. They've got a scoring chance in the forward pocket through Hawking, who snaps across his body. Hawkins can't mark it, trying to snare it between the goal and behind post. It's off direction for a minor score. I think it was Payne who got that possession out of the centre for the Lions. A minor score in the end. Fitzroy 1-1-7, Sydney 2 straight. Fitzroy with the wind. It couldn't be that strong on a day like this, Crackers, surely. Although the windsock is sitting up.
The short kick in by Lewis has gone to Dunkley. Hand pass ends up eventually with Kelly. Skipper Kelly goes in towards the middle to Kapler. Kapler onto his left boot through that centre circle. Kick straight into Barker. The ball rebounds back to Kelly, who's grabbed without the ball. In fact, he's grabbed high, says the field umpire by Baldwin. And Kelly's been invited to play on. They've got players out on the wing. He finds Ruse. Kelly, who takes the mark, kicks down towards Creswell, who takes a good mark running with the flight of the ball. He's 15 metres out. Lockett's back by himself, not by himself, he's got his opponent there, but they go short, which was a good ploy, as Crawford just drops into a spot 40 metres out directly in front.
Not a bad player, this kid. I think he's going to make it. He really has improved this year. They just got in and just kept on improving.
Here he comes. 40 out, directly in front, into the breeze at the Barclay Street end. Well, it's a high ball, holding up, but it might have enough. It has got enough, and he's put it through. That was a good kick. Probably a bit too high, one would have thought, into the breeze, 40 out, but it did defeat the pack by a couple of metres. So the Swans at 3 goals, Fitzroy 1-1-7. Skills at Princes Park.
Almost 8 minutes. There's still only the 1- score to the Brisbane Bears, and they have had all of the play. They're well on top of Carlton in general play, but no score other than that 1 point. Ray.
Play's been underway 2.5 minutes. Neither side has yet to score.
Nice goal by Crawford then. Really does put the pressure on Fitzroy at the moment, and they've got to do something quickly, Fitzroy.
Yes, he was able to kick 45 metres or so, and Lockett's was about a 50-metre kick for a goal, but they are into the breeze. Now, Fitzroy hammer it out of the middle, but Kapler mops up for Sydney. Right foot kick, playing pretty much for the line, and that's what he finds. It goes sliding over. Over on the Dougie Hawkins wing, and Dougie's out there today. One would think playing one of his last games at the Western Oval. Sydney lead by 11 points, and we've played nearly 9 minutes. Now, at the throw-in, it's pretty crowded over there. Rose rucking for the Swans against a charged-up Manson. It falls to the foot of the pack. Payne in there for Fitzroy. Can't prize it away. And umpire McBurney, wearing the same number as Darren Payne, comes in to ball it up. They're both in number 29. It's about 20 metres in from the boundary line on the wing. He is going to bounce it despite the softness underfoot. Doesn't gain enormous elevation. Swans come away with it. Kelly, right foot kick up towards half forward, close to the boundary line, but Gray marks, no, wrong side of the line. So it's out on the full off Kelly's boot, and a free kick to Fitzroy at half-back.
To be taken by Dent on the half-back flank. Now a bit of a roar from the crowd, something going on which I can't detect. Now, where's Plugger? Oh, Lockett's out here. Oh, well, Lockett's almost out on the wing here. He's I don't know what he's doing out here. Anyway, he's out here. Anyway, the ball is kicked out towards Zanotti. Kick it comes in. The ball spills. Picked up by Zanotti on the wing. Upended. Good tackle by McRae. A bit of a bone cruncher. The kicking towards half forward for Fitzroy. Attempt to kick off the ground by Barker. The ball comes out of the pack. The hand pass eventually ends up at Pike, who's grazed the ball terribly right out to the right. And it's gone out on the full. A free kick to Dale Lewis in the back pocket. Sydney, 3 goals. Fitzroy 1-1. Bobby Skilton at Princess Park.
Carlton 1 goal, Brisbane 1 behind. Right.
Pretty rugged start here. 4 minutes of play and neither side yet to score. Here, Ray, you're over there, are you?
Yes.
You covered a bit of ground this weekend.
Sydney by 11 points. Now the kick from Lewis from that free from the out on the full. It's picked up by Ruse. Hand passes back to Gasper. He in turn gives it to Garlick. Garlick kick is a short one, but it's been marked by Johnson of Fitzroy 70 metres out. Or the lead, a poor one. I think it's Hawking out there, yes. Handball across to Lamb. Spins out of trouble. Does well, but numbers there for the Swans. The ball is pried loose. Fitzroy player taken a bit high. Unlucky not to get a free kick. There'll be a ball up between the centre square line and the 50-metre arc. Fitzroy to attack at centre half forward. But they've trailed the Swans. The Roys have the breeze. Fitzroy 1-1. Sydney 3 straight.
11 minutes. Umpire McBurney throws it up this time. Rose climbs high. Went too early. Manson got the tap, but straight to Kelly, who does well, draws them to him, and then hand passes to Garlick on the burst. He goes towards Gray's lead out wide. He takes the mark between wing and half forward flank. Swans building something. Here's Plugger on the lead. Good delivery from Gray, and Lockett's got it. My word, that was a good pass from Troy Gray, crackers. 45 or 50 metres. Hit Lockett on the chest.
Yeah, they're starting to kick the ball a lot better to Lockett than they have been at the start of the year. They know his movements now and they've just settled in, but when it gets in there, it takes it a long time to get out of his breadbasket, I tell you.
Not easy to deliver over that distance. Nice and flat and quick, and Lockett on the lead, but with not too many metres up his sleeve. In fact, about half a one. Couldn't miss the mark. It hit him slap bang on the sternum. He lines them up for his second. The man on the mark, perhaps just inside 40 metres. Plugger kicks from 45, and it looks very, very good. The Swans supporters, that hardy bunch behind the sticks at the Barclay Street end erupt, and Sydney has its 4th into the breeze. Good start by Barassa's boys. 4 straight 24. Fitzroy 1-1-7. Bobby Skilton.
Carlton 1 straight goal, Brisbane 2 behinds. Ray.
Well, we've got John Worsfold lining up for a possible first score of the match, but neither side has scored as yet.
We're just going to keep on going, the Swans, and it could be a real sweepstakes here because they are moving the ball very well. Lovely pass, and the big converter himself was just down there and kicked a beautiful goal.
24-7 the score here at the Western from the centre bounce. Rose beats Manson back in towards Chandler. The ball comes off the pack, picked up there by Guard, kicks straight up in the air. McRae taken high, but it goes down towards Crawford. Crawford, the Sydney Swans, a high ball in towards centre half forward. Or Dental, yes, he saw Plugger coming. I don't blame him though, I must admit. Plugger gets the handball across the base, gets it over to Kapler. A man in the goal square by himself is Kelly, and it popped through another one to Sydney Swans. They are 5 goals straight. 5 goals into the breeze in 13 minutes. Sydney 5, Fitzroy 1-1-7 Crackers.
Paul Kelly, a very good player. Actually, one of my little picks for the Brownlow. He's an exceptional player, you know.
What about Matthew Dent, running with the flight of a high ball, knowing who might be coming the other way, and perhaps with visions of Peter Caven in his mind?
Well, Peter Caven was yelling out, "Look out!" But no, it's just the wind got to him and his eyes were into the sun. But Paul Kelly is absolutely blitzing at the moment. 7 possessions.
Sydney by 23 points. Manson gets the tap for Fitzroy, but they're not able to collect cleanly. Lamb does well. Well done, Lamb, in that case. A hand pass off. Taken by Barker, whose kick is a shocker. Spraying off the side of the boot, high into the air. McRae claimed a mark, but he's not paid. He kicks quickly, though, and finds Ruse. They don't like the former Fitzroy champion. Ruse up towards half forward, finds Bays, outpointing Millington. Taking the mark comfortably. It is all Sydney. Bays 75 metres out. Chips it inside to Ruse, who kept coming down the ground. He goes towards the lead in the forward pocket from Gray, who takes the mark effortlessly. And he'll have a shot from 35 metres out after his 3rd mark, Jack. And Troy Gray doing well in the early part. Sydney on fire.
So much for the body language.
Oh.
I'm glad I couldn't get on, Tim.
Well, actually, the other side of that type of body language is that sometimes it is superficial. It can be overdone, and a team comes out steaming, and it lasts about 5 minutes. Gray lines them up to give the Swans a 29-point lead into the breeze. Left foot across the face this time, and it's a minor score. The Swans' first miss. I suppose they were due. They're 5-1-31. Fitzroy 1-1-7. Around the grounds, Bobby Skilton and then Jetlag Walker. Bobby.
Carlton 1-2-8. 1 goal ahead of Brisbane. 2 straight behinds. Ray.
We've been playing 9 minutes in the opening term, and West Coast have 2 behinds on the board, 2 points to Adelaide yet to score.
Back here at the Western Oval, Paxman kicked in to Manson, who kicked up towards the half-back flank, and the ball is over. Bays flew high but couldn't drag it in. Fitzroy 1-1, Sydney 5-1 here at the Western. 15 minutes in the first term. From the boundary throw-in, Kickett had it, then lost it, picked up by Kelly. Possession number 8 was touched off the boot, knocked towards the boundary by Kapler, picked up there by Chandler. Chandler now kicks the ball further down the field. In fact, it was Payne to Fitzroy out towards the wing. The ball in dispute, it comes out the back, picked up by Huskus. His hand pass to Roos, who's intercepted his hand pass. The ball picked up by Baldwin of Fitzroy. Kicks towards centre half forward, but the 2 number 3s were there, Dougie and Dale Lewis wins. Takes the mark over Dougie at centre half back. Kicks out wide where it's been marked out there by Daniels.
Whose disposal as ever is pinpoint as he hits Crawford 20 metres up the ground. Crawford's told he's played on, and he gets around Baldwin easily. Chips a little pass in the Garlick direction. Garlick knocks it on under pressure. Huskus under pressure. Garlick goes back to help him. Squirts out a hand pass. Still a chance for the Swans. Chapman buries himself in the pack. Umpire Pfeiffer. Umpire Scroop comes in to ball it up. It is umpire Pfeiffer. Just Fitzroy's attacking side of the centre. Sydney 5-1 to Fitzroy 1-1. 16.5 minutes in. At the ball up. Huskus knocks at the Swans' way, but it's mopped up by Lamb of Fitzroy. He swings a left footer into half forward, and Dougie takes a beauty under immense pressure. Bit of poise, bit of experience, bit of class. That's what the Lions needed, and Dougie produced. He'll have a shot from just outside 50.
Should kick it. The only thing that'll not stop him from kicking is age.
Oh, they need it. In he comes from right on the 50. He knows where they are at the Western Oval, and does he ever? He splits them. 3.5 yards either side. Dougie second, the Lions second, but they still trail by 3 goals. 5-1 to 2-1 at the 17-minute mark.
Well, I need him to take a few more marks down there. He did. It was a lovely mark under a lot of pressure to Tim, as you said that, Tim, and he did kick a nice goal. They've just got to get the ball down there because they have got the wind and they've got to convert. And Dougie Hawkins just seems about the only one they've got down there at the moment. They've got to get the ball down quickly though for him because he is under a height of disadvantage.
The Swans by 18 points, 17 minutes in the first term. Centre bounce knocked down by Manson, who too with the Barker. He tapped it down to Sonotta. He was claimed. The ball spills. Players over the top. There'll be a secondary bounce. Time to check the score from Bobby Skilton at Princess Park.
Carlton 2-3-15. Brisbane 2 straight behinds.
Time for your rate.
West Coast 1-2-8. Lead Adelaide 1 behind 1 point.
Sydney 5-1. Fitzroy 2-1. Up they go. Rose knocks it down. Taken by Garlick. Kick doesn't travel far. Taken by Johnson. Handball across to Atkins. Atkins now kicks in towards half forward. Out comes Hawking. Can't mark. He tackles. The ball knocked on by Malloy towards the forward pocket. Dale Lewis is there. Sidesteps around 2 of them. Malloy and Hawking, he does very well. Then gets the hand pass further down the field to Roos. Roos kicks out wide to Crawford, who takes the mark right below us. Delivers to Gavin Rose, who wants to be a sports announcer one day. Rose kicks the ball to half forward, and Bays takes the beauty, running with the flight of the ball. One out down there. Let's see. Lockett has taken the mark about 20 metres out. Paxman went to ground, and maybe Big Tony was responsible for that.
Tell you what, if that was a catch in a cricket match, it would be a very controversial decision because hands, ball and ground all came together as one.
I dare you to go out there and tell him that.
I will. I'll go out and look him in the eye.
Don't come back.
He's 15 metres out directly in front. Big Tony's kick 2. He might set a new world record today. Well, in kicking goals and also his preparation time as well. The current world record is 41 seconds. Here he comes for his third to give Sydney a 4-goal lead. Big Tony, drop punt. Watch out if you're driving down Barclay Street. You better duck. Right over the top it goes out into the car park. Glad Huey hasn't got the famous Holden out there today. Sydney 6-1, Fitzroy 2-1, first term, and we're 19 minutes in. Skilton at Princess Park.
Carlton 2-3-15, Brisbane 2 behinds, Ray.
14-minute mark. It's West Coast on 1-3-9, leading Adelaide 1 behind.
Just looking at Fitzroy, the defenders, they're a bit down in the mouth at the moment. They've got to try and do something about Lockett and try and cover him up at least. They just haven't got a packsman's just not strong enough. And I don't know if it was a mark or not, but because it wasn't that close. But I tell you what, if they don't do something about it, it's going to rain goals wherever he is.
I would have looked him in the eye and questioned it, Crackers, and if he looked back and said it was a mark, I would have been inclined to agree with him.
Yeah. I wouldn't go down. I'd just take his word.
20 minutes in, bounce to the ball, Rose and Manson. Manson wins this one. He's really been hard at it, but Rose gets a backhander onto it, knocks it the Swans' way. Johnson there for Fitzroy, but a shocking kick. Hits Bays on the chest. Here's the rebound. In towards Gray. Paxman came hard the other way. That was good stuff as he backed his judgment. Johnson emerges with the ball. Gives the hand pass to Guard. Out to Zanotti, who's been on the end of a couple of bone-crunching tackles. He picks up the ball, but he's tackled. Oh, they're really after Zanotti. I reckon they've targeted him. Barassi might have said, look, soften him up. He's their spirit. Gray emerges. A hand pass to Bays. 45 out he goes for Lockett. He takes the mark. And if he sets a record today, it mightn't be about the length of time in preparation for the shot for goal. But the late Fred Fanning's record could be on the line. He's lining up for number 4 into the wind, and we're 21 minutes in.
I'll tell you what,
It crossed my mind.
Gray's tackle on, who was it? Zanotti looked a bit high too.
He flew at him, didn't he? He was off the ground. They've set Zanotti up. They've really been after him 3 times. And after the second one, he was on his knees for a while. He really is feeling it.
Well,
Does that happen, Crackers? Do they go after tough players in the opposition side?
Never ever, Ron. He's too fair-minded for that. But they just happen to be around.
Well, you'll make the exception.
Lockett for number 4. At the 21 3/4 minute mark. Long preparation again, and he puts it through. Dear, oh dear. What a start by Sydney. Lockett has 4. The Swans are 7-1-43. The Lions 2-1-13. Bobby Skilton at Optus Oval.
Carlton 3-3-21, Brisbane 1-2-8. Ray.
Well, we've got West Coast getting away now. They're on 3-3-21, leading Adelaide 1 behind 1 point.
Actually, my son saw Lockett at half-time with the jumper off. He said he's just a huge man last week up in Sydney, but that was a lovely mark. He's converting. The late Fred Fanning's record could be in a little bit of jeopardy today because he loves this ground. He kicks a lot of goals here, and the way the Swans are playing and getting the ball down to him, anything can happen.
Swans by 30 points. There's the high centre bounce. It's a beauty. Knocked down by Rose again, who's done pretty well. In there is Kickett. Paddles the ball the wrong way. Dent's got the front position. Gets a push in the back. No free kick. They're running 4-0 to the Swans. The free kicks at the moment. But Gray kicks up towards half forward. Johnson has a fumble. He's about 30 out from the goal. He's defending. He gets it. Oh, Millington is there. Picked up by Lockett. Squeezes the hand pass up towards centre half forward. But it's picked up by Pike. Hand turn the hand pass to Johnson. To Manson. Manson the hand pass. But it's a poor one. It's intercepted by Kickett. Rebound footy. Lockett by himself. No, can't mark. The late spoil just at the last moment. He's going to get a free kick. Oh, that was soft. Steve Paxman came in. He didn't charge him front on. He may have made contact with his head, and if that was the case, the free kick was deserved.
Wasn't there?
No. I didn't think so in calling. You just get a feel whether, in fact, you should go back with your glasses and see what's happening. But I was quite prepared to follow the ball away from the pack. Now, Lockett is 25 out dead in front and will be going for 5 straight into the breeze.
Maybe the umpires want to be part of history.
Well, here he comes. He might kick 20 today.
We're going to be here for a long time. He's going to kick 20 goals. He's taken minutes to kick them.
Here he comes. Big Tony. And that one is true. Yes, he's kicked another one. We're running out of space already. There's not even quarter time. We're 24 minutes in. And I've taken up nearly all the G's in the football record here. He's kicked 5 goals straight. Sydney 8-1, Fitzroy 2-1. Bobby Skilton, Princess Park.
Carlton 3-4-22, Brisbane Bears 1-2-8.
He's leaving the field.
Been dragged.
He's been dragged. Barras, what have you done? No, it's on the blood rule.
Well, he must have caught one in the face then. If yes, there is blood. So I think that probably vindicates the umpire's decision there. Ray Walker.
It's West Coast 2-5-17, leading Adelaide 1 behind 1 point. McDermott's just gone down heavily, and he's been brought off due to the blood rule as well.
So lock it off just for the moment. Arnott comes on and goes to full forward. It's interesting with some of these decisions. We can condemn from the distance, but quite often the umpires on closer inspection are correct. Now, free kick here, a fifth man in the square for Sydney. Manson to Baldwin by hand. Long kick towards full forward for the Lions, who are 6 goals down, kicking with the wind. The ball's 40 metres out. Fierce pack, my word, the Swans are hard at it. And there'll be a ball up as umpire Scroop comes in to break them all up. Flying start by the Swans. Fitzroy kicked the first about a minute in, but the Swans have taken total control of the game and they've been pretty impressive. Greg Scroop, he's going to bounce it and he makes a good fist of it. Rose climbs high. He's a good athlete. I think he was a decathlete at one stage. Knocks it clear of the 50, picked up by Ruse. Swans out of immediate danger. Long ball to the centre. Free kick Fitzroy's way. As Dent had front position on Gray, and Gray brought him down. Dent chips onto Zanotti, who's taken a lot of punishment. He kicks in towards half forward. Manson trying to get there for the contest. Malloy a big spoil for the Lions. It spills to Pike from 55. He blazes with the left boot. I think he's just missed. He has. It was a good kick. Crowd was going up, but it was just offline. Sydney 8-1-49. Fitzroy 2-2-14 at the 26-minute mark.
Kick in by Lewis from the scoreboard goal. He'll go short. He's got options everywhere. And Chapman's marked at centre half back. He could have gone for Garlick or Dunkley. Now Chapman goes out wide to Garlick. No, it's not Garlick out there. In fact, it's Skipper Kelly on the half-back flank. He goes short to Lewis. Lewis delivered in the first place. He's outside 50. All hospital hand pass. Yes, Crackers to Chapman. Hurriedly gets the ball on the boot, but no wonder. Out towards Kapler. Couldn't control the ball. It comes out of the pack to Ruse. Ruse the hand pass to Crackers' favourite Sydney Swans player, McRae. Didn't you back him in the Brownlow, Crackers? You should have. But Dent is marked in front of Gray. And Dent's marked for Fitzroy at centre half-back. Kicks in towards the middle. Pike will come from the side. Up goes Keegan. Oh, Pike takes a very good mark for Fitzroy between centre half-back and centre. He sees Hawking out wide. Now he delivers pretty well right below us here. Hawking Simon has marked, taking plenty of time. There's not much by way of a target, so he blazes in towards centre half forward. Malloy up, can't mark. Gasper the spoil, he pursues it. Sockers the ball across the half-back line to Huskus. They're clearing easily. The Sydney Swans from centre half-back out wide. Crawford got a bit of a nudge in the back, but it was to his advantage in the finish because he picked up the crumbs, floats a hand pass to Kickett. Kickett kicks down in towards full forward. A chance for Arnott. Also there is Bayes, overran the ball. The ball picked up by Arnott. Kicks in towards the forward pocket. All Bayes has got to do is turn around, have a pot shot for goal, but he's wrong foot and he's hit the post. Sydney 8-2-50, Fitzroy 2-2-14. Bobby Skilton, Princess Park.
Quarter time at Princess Park. Carlton 5-4-34. Brisbane Bears 2-2-14, trailing by 20 points. Right.
We're at the 22-minute mark and West Coast 3-5-23 lead Adelaide 1 behind 1 point.
Who had the breeze in the first term there, Bobby?
I wouldn't really classify it as, it's more across the ground here, and Carlton kicked 3 goals in 3 minutes to really break away, but the Bears had plenty of play, but Carlton looked much stronger.
Familiar story, we saw it last week, those flurries of goals. Fitzroy worked the ball back to the centre and in fact just into their attacking half. Creswell over it in a pack for Sydney, supported there by Gasper, who gets a little right foot nudge kick onto Rose, whose hand pass is well stolen by Atkins. A hand pass onto Guard, can't accept it cleanly. Hawkins does, gives it to Doyle, back towards Guard, left forward pocket, under pressure now from Gasper. Good tackle, the hand pass is loose, picked up by Doyle. Clever centering kick, 2-on-1 Fitzroy's way, but the siren goes. The quarter comes to an end and the Swans have dominated it and lead by 6 goals despite kicking into the wind. Crackers?
Big Tony just come back on.
He's back.
Down.
He's back just when you thought it was safe to play at full back. He's back.
Yeah.
8-2-50 to 2-2-14.
Stats. Here's a rarity for you.
Delight to read them. For the Swans, Kelly 9 possessions, Ruse 8, Bayes 7, 6 apiece, Crawford, Garlick, Kickett and Lockett. 4 marks to Lockett, and of course he kicked 5 goals. For Fitzroy, 6 to Johnson, 5 each to Manson and Pike, and 4 to Hawking. I'll give you the team one shortly.
Swans by 36 points. The Blues by 20 points. Close to quarter time at Subiaco, and play underway in the second term at the Western Oval, with the Swans having the breeze. Knocked down by Manson, taken away by Johnson. Had it then, lost it, stolen by Kickett. Gets the hand pass to Bays. Bays now driving, kicking towards Lockett. He's behind the pack. In fact, he's gone to ground, and the ball will be cleared away. It has been by Fitzroy, who kick it up towards the half-back line, but Kelly is there. Captain Courageous kicks the ball beautifully towards Crawford. He can't mark. It's out of play as he went outside the boundary, and he tried to bring the ball, keep it in, but it broke back, and it's over for a throw-in. Right forward pocket at the highway end of the Western Oval. About a 3-goal breeze. Up in ruck Gray, hard to tell who won. Dent was there. The ball comes out of the pack. Let's see who's going to merge. Or Kelly gets a terrific hand pass under pressure to Gray, who sockers the ball across the half-forward line. Another kick off the ground, this time by Atkins of Fitzroy. It was meant, let's see, for a player further down the field. Barker, I think it was. Roos had it for a moment, and a player is caught. Sydney Swans player on the point of the square, Creswell, and it looks like Boyd's back out there, Crackers. He's got a big bandage on his right. No, it's not Boyd. I thought it was for a moment. It's Barker, in fact, with he's got thigh bandage and a knee bandage as well. Looks like Sean White. The ball taken by Rose, kick off the ground by Roos, hit towards half forward. Kick it now. He's 60 out. Sees a lead from Lockett, and it goes straight through his fingers. He was just too far underneath it. The ball goes out towards Doyle in the back pocket, kicks the ball under a lot of pressure, and it might have floated out on the full, so Notty tried to keep it in. Quarter time, Ray, at Subiaco.
No, still playing West Coast.
Okay.
6-6-42.
Free kick to Garlick, finds Kickett, and Kickett is 55 metres out from goal.
He's loading it up.
Yes. Now let's have a look at Lockett. He's back in the goal square. He's got a couple to beat. Manson's dropped back, and Barker there for the crumbs. So really he's got about 3. It's 4-2 down there at the moment. He leads Lockett. Let's see where he's going to get. He's got it. But he broke away and he's led, and he's marked about 30 out, and he's about 10 metres in from the boundary and on his right side for a right footer. So the Swans lead by 6 goals. Big Tony has kicked 5 goals straight. The breeze going right down the Western Oval from the northern end. So it's a fairly difficult shot. The breeze will just take it from right to left. Again, plenty of preparation time. The player on the mark is only 20 metres out. Tony just crouched over the ball, and now he comes in. He won't run out, I don't think, because there's plenty of opening there for him. No, a straight approach, drop punt on its way, and I think he might have put it through. He has. So Lockett has got 6, keeping in mind that he missed the last 5 minutes virtually of the first term with the blood rule. Sydney 9-2, Fitzroy 2-2. Ray, is it quarter time?
No,
yet?
we're still playing. It's West Coast 6-6-42, leading Adelaide just 3 behinds.
Bobby.
Carlton by 15 points. 5-5-35, Brisbane 3-2-20.
A bit worried about this. It might be an avalanche of goals here, Tim. What are you worried about, Carlton?
No, they're all right, Crackers. In fact, a loss wouldn't hurt them at this stage of the year, I think, but, well, they're still in front. The marking situation, incidentally, Sydney 28-11 so far, and free kick Sydney 5-1. Lockett's 6th goal, his 80th for the season. Fitzroy breakaway out of the centre, but a misdirected kick into half forward hits Huskus of Sydney right on the chest. He delivers to Kapler. Kapler out to the centre line, and Roos, and the marking's about 31-11 now. Roos in towards half forward. Good spoil comes from Little Chandler. Gives Atkins a chance at the base of the pack. Well tackled by Creswell. Dispossessed, and the Swans come away with the footy. It's Roos again. He's looking for Lockett. He has 2 against him, the Giant. Taken by Paxman of Fitzroy. Doesn't have anyone to give it to. A hand pass off. Roos had it. Was well tackled and dispossessed. Fitzroy come away through Dent. Kicks towards the centre line, but it's a Sydney mark. Taken by Lewis. Just forward of the wing over on the Dougie Hawkins side. Dougie has 2 goals, but the footy not getting near him much at the moment. A hand pass on to Garlick. Another one to Kelly, who gets around the oncoming guard. Kicks with the left boot in the plugger direction. Too far for him. Kapler the crumb. Snaps at goal, and there's another one. Oh, this is just too easy. It's not a game. It is a shame.
Just quarter time in Perth.
Yeah, Ray, I'll give you the score. Get the score in just a moment, but updating here, that's Sydney's 10th goal, 10-2-62. Fitzroy 2-2-14. We're not 5 minutes into the second term. Ray Walker.
Well, West Coast are back in town at quarter time. They lead 7-6-48 to Adelaide, 3 behind, 3 points. Goal kickers for West Coast, 1 each to Metropolis, McKenna, Worsfold, Girick, Ball, Matera and Waterman.
Okay, Ray, West Coast by 45 points. Set to bounce to restart play. Who's going to get the first centre break? It goes to Dougie Hawkins, but he lost it. Gets it out to guard. He lost it too. Huskers does well. Gets the hand pass. Comes to Creswell. Creswell from half-back for the Swans. Kicks to half-forward. Off the pack, Millington. And he kicks the ball out wide where it's marked out there by Pike. Pike of Fitzroy, wide of centre. Sydney 10-2. Fitzroy 2-2. Pike's kick to half-forward. Up goes McRae, Cracker's favourite footballer for the Swans. It's marked at centre half-back. Kicks in towards the middle. Up they go. That goes behind the pack. Picked up by Crawford. Good hand pass to Lewis. Sweeping hand pass to Bays. Has a look for Big Tony. Still, there he is. He's not far away and he's marked it again. Oh, he's had 4 grabs. He's been paid. Big Tony has kicked 6 goals straight. And this one is easier than the last one. He's only 25 out, but he's in where he was in, say, 10 metres from the boundary before. He's in about 15 or 20 this time.
There's only one problem with Tony Lockett. He could get bored. The only problem I can see.
Well, Paxman did make a friend earlier, just before quarter time, when that number 42, Simon Arnott, came on. They were good pals for a while. Anyway, a nightmare out there for any backman, particularly with the way the ball's been delivered and the way he's playing. Here's Big Tone. He's kicked 6 straight. And we're only 6 minutes into the second term. The drop punt. High ball, it's a goal. He's kicked 7. This is amazing. Lockett has 7 straight. First term, 6 minutes in. Fitzroy 2-2-14 and Sydney 11-2-68. Bobby Skilton, Princess Park.
Carlton by 9 points. 5-5-35. Brisbane 4-2-26. Ray.
Just quarter time here again. West Coast 7-6-48. Lead Adelaide 3 behinds.
Well, I don't know what's going to happen here. They've got to do something about Lockett, but just the way they're bringing the ball down, Peter, you said it was a lovely kick by Bays, and Lockett called for it high. Bays with his left foot just popped her into the wind, and he was just too big and strong and over the top of Paxman, and you've got to have one out. Lockett's almost unbeatable.
Jack Cameron says Hawking, who made his name early on as a good young full-back. Now from the ball up, Swans are going to attack again. Creswell sells the dummy, comes back inboard, does it cleverly with great confidence. Kick just too far for Kickett, but picked up by Crawford. Hand pass to Garlick, who confidently gets around one, touches it down, kicks long and high to Lockett, can't get into the contest. Doyle mops up for Fitzroy, clears out over half-back. One out, Bays and Millington, close to the boundary. Bays a fancy little flick back, then he knocks it back to Rose. Rose was trying to lay the Shepherd though and went the wrong way. Picked up by Millington, who gives it to Pike, and Pike delivers nicely to the aforementioned Hawkett. No, it's Malloy, who comes inboard in the Atkins direction. Can't mark, picked up by Payne. He runs into trouble and he's lost the footy. Kickett hasn't, gives it to Ruse. Ruse pumps on a hand pass. Awkward for Crawford though. Pushed off it by Chandler, pushed in the back. And it's a free kick to Crawford. Although he's running down the ground and reckons it's Kapler's ball. I thought Crawford was the player pushed.
Yeah, I think it is.
But they know that Darren Kapler is a beautiful kicker of the football, so he's a handy man to have it. And from out of the centre, he'll lob it in Lockett territory if he tries to. He doesn't. He goes wide and delivers perfectly to Kelly, who takes the mark for the Swans. This is just... It's like training with the Witches' hat crackers. Kelly onto Creswell. Runs into trouble. Gives it to Gray. Gray gives it back to Creswell. Inside 50. Close to the boundary line. Goes for goal. Misses. A rare event. Out on the full. Sydney 11-2-68. Fitzroy 2-2-14. 9 minutes, second term.
At quarter time at Subiaco, West Coast by 45.76. Adelaide 3 behinds. Bobby Skilton, Princess Park.
Carlton by 9 points. 6-5-41. Brisbane 5-2-32.
At the Western Oval, Sydney 11-2-68. Fitzroy 2-2-14. Now the kick in after Creswell ignored the lead from Tony Lockett. Now he kicks outside 50, goes behind the pack. Who's there? Manson on the ground. Poor hand pass goes straight to Rose. He in turn gives it to Gray. Gray's hand pass to Kelly. Must be in double figures to lead from Lockett, and he's got it again. Now this time he's wedged up against the boundary, but he's leading to his right-hand kicking style, or right foot kicking style, and he's, in fact, he's outside the field of play at the moment. He has kicked 7 straight.
Jack's just pointed out his new opponent to me, Simon Hawking.
It's about time. I didn't want to sack him because fullbacks have got a thing about me.
Now he might run around here just to open it up a little bit. He's not as far back off the man on the mark, which would indicate he might run around. Here he comes, slow approach. No. Drop punt for goal. It's another one. He has kicked 8 goals straight, Lockett. This is unbelievable, and we are here to see it. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 goals straight, Lockett. We're 10 minutes into the second term here at the Western Oval. Sydney are 12-2-74. Fitzroy 2-2-14. Robert Skilton.
Carlton by 9 points. 6-5-41. Brisbane 5-3-33.
Ray, you're playing again?
Yes, play just underway here, but neither side has scored as yet.
12-2 to 2-2 at the Western Oval, but you can feel the excitement rising now. Lockett 8 goals at the 11-minute mark of the second term, and there's a centre square infringement. It's the Swans' ball. Rose to kick it in towards half forward for Crawford. Awkward bounce, can't trap it at the first go. Does well to Garlick, to Kapler. 45 out, normally eats these, but this time he's offline. It's a behind. Former Lion, one of a couple. Sydney 12-3-75. Fitzroy 2-2-14. Well, we could see history here. Fred Fanning's long-standing record. What is it, getting on for 50 years? We might also see an all-time high score.
The kick in by Hawking of Fitzroy, up towards centre half back off the pack. Garlick, the hand pass to Gray, who's done well. Gets a hand pass to Crawford, but he just couldn't control it. Chandler came through with the gloves for Fitzroy and knocked it over on 50 for Sydney. 12-3-75. Fitzroy 2-2-14.
I hate to bring this up, but Peter Hudson did his knee after he kicked 8 goals against Melbourne in the second quarter.
I was just thinking, too, he only needs another 11.
The boundary throw in, let's see, picked up by Garlick, hand pass to Kickett, gives it to Creswell. Will he go short to Tony? No, he's run out of territory, and he's travelled too far anyway, apparently. I thought he might have been caught by Lamb, who's, he slings him to the ground and puts him right on his bottom. His back of his head hit the turf. It's pretty soft here, though, at the Western Oval. And the umpire just warning Lamb, who got the free kick because Creswell travelled too far. But that was almost unduly rough play as he gives a hand pass to Malloy. Kicks out wide. Mellington is out there, but Swan's everywhere. Well, the ball went straight through Mellington's fingers. The ball kicked off the ground, though. It could have been by Mellington. Further down the field, picked up by Lewis on the wing. Mellington applies the tackle. Was it illegal? No, he's going to be rewarded for a good tackle. And Lewis is penalised of the Sydney Swans. Beneath the former coach's box here at the Western, as Mellington kicks up towards half forward. No one can mark, although Atkins picks up the crumbs. It's a high ball, very poor delivery into the forward pocket at the Barclay Street end. Chapman is there for Swans. Clears the ball around the wing where Kelly, he's got the ball on a string today. He's had a terrific game. 15 possessions already, touches the ball on the ground twice, gets away from Lamb beautifully, then delivers to Lockett, and Lockett's got it again. 45 out directly in front. This is unbelievable. Lockett has kicked 8 with 13 minutes into the second term.
I've got a feeling that Barassi will take him off soon because the Barassi family and the Fanning family are great people.
Well, Sydney lead by 61 points, so the game is all over as far as the result is concerned. But the enormous interest now with Lockett. I haven't seen this before, I don't think, in 27 years of calling. He's kicked 8. He's right in front. This is the easiest shot of the day. He's 45 out, but the breeze behind him, and it is straight through the middle for goal number 9. Lockett has 9, 13 minutes into quarter number 2. Sydney 13-3, Fitzroy 2 goals 2. Bobby at Princess Park.
Carlton 6-6-42, 8 points up on Brisbane, 5-4-34.
At the 4-minute mark, it's West Coast 7-7-49 leading Adelaide 4 behinds only.
Well, they bought Frankie Bizzotto on. Maybe this is Bernie's trump card to stem the tide, but Lockett. I could give votes here at the moment, but I won't. He's only kicked 9.
Good to see him there after he kicked the goal. Turn and applaud Paul Kelly, whose setup was the player of the day. From the ball up, it's fisted Fitzroy's way, but straight to Gasper, who clears the centre with his kick. It bounces out to 2-on-1 territory for the Swans. Gray and Garlick, and now Ruse as well, and they play it beautifully. Garlick emerges, goes for Lockett, and he's got it again. We are staring history in the face. Lockett in the right forward pocket. The man on the mark is 30 metres out. This is a testing shot. It's a tough angle. Lockett's trying to crib a little. And Greg Scroop is letting him. Fifth mark of the quarter, Jack.
He might get him before half-time.
How many marks has he taken for the day? 9. What's the record for the number of marks in a match?
33, I think, Alec Duncan. He against Collingwood. They gave him the ball and had a town hall reception for him.
This for number 10. 15 minutes and 5 seconds on the clock in the second quarter. Lockett comes in, gently kicks it and threads it through. I think it's a matter of how far the record. We might have to start the nearest the pin competition as to what time he'll break it.
10 straight.
Lockett 10 goals. Sydney 14-3-87. Fitzroy 2-2-14. 15 and a half minutes into the second term. Bobby Skelton at Princes Park.
6-6-42 Carlton. 7 points up on Brisbane. 5-5-35.
Right. At the 6-minute mark, it's West Coast now 7-8-50, leading Adelaide 4 behind.
Sonotti's on Tony Lockett now, his third opponent. He's kicked 10. Centre bounce to restart play. How long before he gets to another one? Rose up, can't mark. Now Kelly is there. Knocks the ball out towards the wing, pursues it, picks it up, then gets a hand pass to Creswell. Handball across to Lewis. Lewis can't accept it, but he does knock it down to Rose. Sweeping hand pass, Rose out to Kelly. Kelly's hand pass finds McRae. McRae kicks, but Lockett's not in. No, he's nowhere there. It's been marked by Pike. Oh, hello. Now, let's see. Someone's gone down behind play. The goal has been kicked by Crawford. That might have been a good stage, I think. That might have been a stage back on play by Zanotti, who went down as if he'd been poleaxe and king hit. He was dead for about 10 seconds, and he bounced up, and now he's starting to push and shove. What's going on, I don't know. It's a Sydney goal, kicked by Crawford. They're 15-3-93. Fitzroy 2-2-40. Now they're fighting in the goal square, Zanotti and Lockett. Now Lockett, all he has to do is just maintain his temperament here. They've come in. There's about 4 or 5 of them all fighting and boxing on down there. Lockett's on the ground. He's in a headlock or a body lock applied by Mark Zanotti. And now there's a show of strength with Zanotti and Lockett in the goal square.
Play's been restarted. The ball's actually come out of the centre. The Swans have gone into attack and scored it behind. I have no idea who kicked it.
No. And Zanotti's getting up. He's last to get up. The emergency umpire is out there speaking with Crawford and Lockett. And Lockett saying, I had nothing to do with it.
Zanotti's hurt too.
He's hurt. Well, they were wrestling. He's up okay. Now, what's happened is a behind scored.
He's down again. He's on his knees now. He's picked himself up, but my word, he's not in good shape.
Coming off. And I think maybe just to protect him, because this all started 40 seconds ago when Zanotti was moved on to Lockett. I mean, everything was terrific until then, and all of a sudden all hell breaks loose.
Well, is this the Barassi-Fanning relationship crackers with Lockett being taken off at the 17.5-minute mark of the quarter? Fitzroy to attack, and this game has a real violent edge to it at the moment. It's not pleasant. Mark in defence for Sydney. A hand pass out to Huskus from Dunkley. Huskus gives it to Lewis, who goes for Rose out on the flank. Hawking back in attack. Atkins there to help Hawking. Over the ball. Atkins has had very few touches, but it's picked up by Creswell. Free kick going Fitzroy's way. It will be taken by Hawking on the half-forward flank about 70 metres from goal. Good move by Barassi, I think, just to pacify things for the moment.
Well, I don't know, because the fans are banging on where on the shelter there where Lockett is at the moment.
Well, it's hard to comment without seeing every aspect of what happened, but
I saw the start of it.
Now Pike, a centering kick, lands at 20 metres out. Gasper flew high from behind, an attacking attempt, brave attempt to try and mark. Ball in dispute though at the foot of the pack, and there'll be a ball up 35 metres out from Fitzroy's goal.
I actually saw the start of it. Lockett actually bumped into Zanotti. Zanotti did overplay and go down, and trying to get a free kick, and then it was on.
Well, the security guy is on his little walkie-talkie. He wants some help, I think, because, I think things have cooled down there now in the interchange area, but he was fearful that the Fitzroy fans who are banging on top of the interchange area that could have, they were having a verbal exchange with other officials too at the Sydney Swans, that things may have developed. So he's calling for a bit of help, I think.
Well, frustration showing. Fitzroy players and supporters venting their disappointment. They are being slaughtered here. It's an embarrassment. Clearing kick, Dunkley finds Kelly at halfback. He chips onto Ruse, having a field day. The former Lion champion. He marks between halfback and wing. How many possessions, Ruse, Jack? 13. He comes inboard to Garlick. He can't mark but recovers beautifully. He's doing well too, but his kick not good. Stolen by Baldwin of Fitzroy, who goes wide but kicks it straight to Ruse. He must think he's still wearing the good old maroon and blue. Ruse has marked defensive 50 for the Lions and hand passes to the running Gavin Rose,
who plays on quickly, kicks around the Hawkins wing where McRae couldn't mark it, but he's there. He tunnels the ball out, but he's lost possession to Baldwin of Fitzroy. From the wing, kicks to half forward to Manson, but Gasper in front. The ball goes to ground. Lamb had it for Fitzroy, then lost it. The ball comes out of the pack and it's taken by Barker. Barker kicks in towards full forward. Dunkley is there with Malloy. Malloy forced to punch the ball away. The ball goes to Lamb. Lamb of Fitzroy, tackled there by Dunkley. There'll be a ball up at centre half forward, about 30 metres out from Fitzroy's goal. Sydney 15-4, Fitzroy 2-2, Bobby's Kilton, Princess Park.
Carlton by 2 behind. 6-7, 43 Carlton. Brisbane 6-5, 41 Ray.
We're at the 10-minute mark, and it's West Coast 9-8-62, leading Adelaide just 5 behind, 5 points.
Now from the ball up, it's knocked by Gavin Rose in towards the forward pocket for Fitzroy though. Atkins had it, then lost it. Weight of numbers. He was tackled. Loose ball goes to Gasper. Handball across to Rose. Rose with the breeze behind him kicks the ball out towards the wing. Up goes Bates. Can't mark. Fitzroy have the numbers at the fall of the ball. It's picked up by Baldwin. Gets a pretty hefty tackle from McRae. But his kick to half forward as Barker breaks clear from the pack. Kicks in towards goal. It may have been just touched. It was by Dunkley in transit and through for a behind off the boot of John Barker. So Fitzroy 2-3-15, Sydney 15-4, 94.
Bobby, you've got the close one at Princess Park. The Bears doing well?
Doing very well. They're playing excellent football at the moment. They're doing most of the attacking, and they've had some good players. Lappin's kicked 2 in this quarter. They've got the better players all over the field. Carlton have dropped right away in this term.
Swans into attack here after the kick in. Creswell in towards half forward. Free kick Sydney's way. Again, the Fitzroy fans very disappointed. And the free kick for the Swans goes to Arnott, with a man on the mark about 45 metres out. He goes sideways and delivers to Gray, perhaps even further out, but it's reduced the angle. So Gray might have a shot here with the man on the mark about 47 metres from goal. 15-4 to 2-3. The Swans by 79 points at the 22-minute mark. Lockett 10 goals, but at the moment sidelined after a pretty violent scene with Mark Zanotti. Gray lines them up. Been a lively forward for them. Comes in. He is going to have a shot. He's a left footer and it's a poor kick. It sprays out towards the behind post. No one can mark. Fitzroy emerging through Chandler. A hand pass to the running Worry, who's come onto the ground. He gets a kick over half-back. Another free kick conceded by the Lions. And this will be taken by Daniels, who hand passes to Kickett. Just forward to the wing, in towards half-forward. Arnott in front. Thumped away from him by Paxman. Good spoil, finds Lamb of Fitzroy. One way, then the other. Then kicks almost backwards. Well, they've got the numbers. I hope for his sake it works. It's 3-on-2 Fitzroy's way. Malloy dispossessed. Hawking dives on the footy. Gets a desperation hand pass on to nobody. Picked up by Kelly of Sydney. Well tackled by Doyle, but it's mopped up by Garlick for the Swans. Gives it to Creswell, to McRae, who runs very hard at the ball, and a dent of Fitzroy. Knocks it in towards half forward. Zanotti a hand pass out. My word, Dean McRae's been hard today. Zanotti gets it off to Dent. Dent a clearing kick through the centre, but Lewis diving takes the mark for the Swans.
23 and a half minutes second term, and it's Sydney 15-4, Fitzroy 2-3. And with Lockett off the field, it's taken a lot of interest out of the game with having kicked 10 goals.
He might be coming back.
Now Chapman's got the ball for the Swans on the wing, delivers to Garlick, who gets a high tackle after getting a handball away, which was intercepted by Dent, and Dent just clipped him. And of course, he was tackled high. He's got to get the free kick. You've got to protect the head area. And Garlick delivers down towards half-forward flank, where Creswell, who's had a good year for the Swans, takes the mark. The lead from Bayes is a beauty. He can't take it on his chest. In there is Atkins for Fitzroy. It's close to the boundary. There'll be a ball up 40 metres out for Sydney on their right half-forward flank at the highway goal. Sydney 15-4, Fitzroy 2-3, and Lockett about to come on. I guess they'll be taking Simon Arnott off, who's replaced him a couple of times today. And he was dragged a moment ago, and with the blood rule just before quarter time. Now from the ball up, who's going to emerge? It's still on a half-forward line for the Swans. Oh, Simon Atkins clears the ball, but it's out on the full. And Kapler on his preferred side with Dougie Hawkins on the mark will take the free kick. Plays on quickly, 55 metres out. Sips it up. The breeze gets onto it. It might go close. I don't think it was touched. He's put it through, Kapler. Yes, he has. Another goal to the Sydney Swans. They are 16-4. Fitzroy 2-3. An absolute whitewash as Arnott comes off. And Big Tony, with 10 goals straight, comes back on. Bobby Skilton, Princess Park.
The Bears hit the front, but Carlton answered with a goal to Pearce. So Carlton back in front by 2 points. 7-7-49. Brisbane 7-5-47. Ray.
At the 15-minute mark, it's West Coast by 60 points. They lead 9-11-65 to Adelaide 5 behind 5 points.
25 minutes in here, 16-4-100. The 100 has been posted 25 minutes into the second term. From the ball up, a chance for Kickett. He's well pressured though and loses control of the footy. Kapler has the chance, runs onto the ball and then doubles back onto his preferred left boot, thumps it into half forward. Big Plugger hangs back in the square, doesn't come out after this one. Chance for Crawford, runs into trouble. Paxman overran the ball, picked up by Bayes of Sydney. Backwards to Crawford, put under the hammer. Good tackle by Chandler. Dispossesses him and then gets a hand pass onto Hawking. Half-back flank for Fitzroy. Left foot kick around the boundary. The breeze pulls it over the line. Out on the full, free kick to Sydney to be taken by Daniels, who comes in board looking for Kapler. It's a shocking pass from Jack. Still hasn't quite perfected it, Crackers. No. Knocked by Fitzroy's worry in towards the centre of the ground. Milling pack over the ball, picked up by Baldwin. Left foot kick in towards half forward. Just 4 men forward of the centre. Fisted back by the Swan defence. Taken for Fitzroy by Doyle. Gives it to Hawking. Now to Baldwin. Clever kick on. Gives them a chance. Barker up in attack. Goes for a bit of a run. Hand passes over the top. Hoping for Pike. Back to Barker. Back to Pike. Side steps. Snaps with the left boot. Smothered. Hawkins has got it. Hand pass to Lamb. Chance for a Fitzroy goal. Lamb snaps across the body. Out on the full. No, in fact, it doesn't even carry. And Lewis takes the mark.
Oh, I tell you what, Molloy furious with Lamb, who should have hand passed. Now the kick further down the field, taken by Kickett. Gives the hand pass across to Kelly. Where's Tony? He looks for him. He gets a hand pass over the top to Gray. Gray looks for Tony. No, he doesn't look for him, as he did lead. And Gray's had a shot for goal. And don't tell me he's put it through for another one. Gray gets his first. Kapler got his second a moment ago. Lockett has 10, but Lockett led right into space, although they got a goal, which is fair enough.
The Greys and the Fennings were also very close, weren't they?
Sydney,
yes, they were.
17-4, 106, 100 before lunch at the Western Oval. Jack would love that in district cricket. 17-4 to 2-3. Bobby Skilton, Princess Park.
The Bears in front by 4 points. 8-5-53. Carlton 7-7-49.
At the 17-minute mark, it's West Coast 9-11-65, leading Adelaide 5 behind 5 points.
I wonder if there's any smart money for the Bears today. You just never know, do you?
Well, we definitely haven't got the close one. The margin is 91 points. The margin might be 100 before lunch. At the bounce of the ball, it sprays sideways. The Swans attacking side, but where Fitzroy have all the numbers. Chance for the Lions as they work a kick out of the middle. Bizotto it was. Gives Barker a chance. Just forward of the wing. He's tackled. Gives it to Baldwin, who's tackled. McRae got hold of him. Forced him over the line. There'll be a throw in. And I've never seen Dean McRae hit the ball and his opponent so hard. He's been intimidating today. At the throw-in, neither ruckman can really get a handle onto the ball. Bizotto a hand pass in the direction of Guard Barker, who gets a kick into half forward. No one can mark it. Guard a hand pass to Pike, whose hand pass is loose under pressure, but Fitzroy come out of it with a free kick. to be taken by Martin Pike about 75 metres out on the half-forward flank. Almost 29 minutes into the term, close to half-time. Lockett still on 10 goals. Sydney 17-4, Fitzroy 2-3.
Yes, the Swans by 91 points. 8 goals in the first term and 9 so far. As Barker said himself, he's not too bad. As Pike kicks across the half-forward line, Pizzotto is there. The Swans have 3-on-2, and they emerge. Kapler hand pass to Crawford. Crawford kicks to space at half-forward. Up goes Bays, can't mark it. It's half-time anyway. Half-time at the Western Oval, and Sydney, who led by 36 points at quarter-time, lead by a massive 91 points. They kicked 9 goals to a behind in that term. And if you were the coach of Fitzroy, what would you say at half-time? And the funny thing about it is that Lockett has missed, what did he miss, Tim, before quarter-time? About 3 or 4 minutes when he went off on the blood?
I would say about 3 or 4. I reckon 5 or 6.
Say 5 or 6. He's missed how many minutes in this quarter, Crackers?
About 10.
About 10. So, look, he's missed between 10 and 15 minutes of play by being dragged after a wrestle and, of course, with the blood rule. And he's kicked 10 goals straight, and it's half-time. This is amazing. Sydney 17-4, 106. Fitzroy 2-3, 15. Lockett's kicked 10, and 2 to Kapler, and singles to Creswell, Kelly, Crawford, and Gray. And Hawkins, Dougie, has kicked the Roys both goals.
The reception might be interesting here as Lockett with a long way to trudge from full forward down at the Geelong Road end. Nears the players' race now. I think he might be given a bit of a welcome from the Fitzroy fans, but certainly the Swans supporters there are applauding very, very supportively and with great feelings of optimism in their hearts, because Lockett is on 10 goals. The score is 17-4, 106 to 2-3, 15.
Bobby Skilton.
Not have said that to his team, and they've been very aggressive at the ball, but it'll be interesting to see how Carlton come back, because there have been times this year, even just a couple of weeks ago, Carlton looked as though they were struggling, but they kicked 5 in a matter of minutes against the Breeze, and so they're always likely to do something. But today they are not anywhere near as impressive as they have been.
Could be a week for player management, Bob.
Actually, David Parkin spoke after the game last week about the matter of how do you have a team just right for the finals. I mean, Carlton theoretically have to lose a game or 2 before the finals. Otherwise, they need to win 16 straight to win the flag. And you just don't do that.
Well, Geelong won 21 on N1, didn't they?
Yeah, it hasn't happened. That was 40 years ago.
Come on, Tim. You win every game you're out there.
Half at the Western Oval underway. Umpire Pfeiffer bounces the ball, taken by Kickett. Handball across to Gavin Rose. Rose, the left foot kick up towards half forward. Out comes Lockett, and Zanotti's got the front position. Zanotti goes to ground. The ball picked up by Gray. Has a shot for goal for the Swans. He's offline, and he's put it through for a behind. Gray has 1 goal too. Sydney 17-5, Fitzroy 2-3, 107 to 15.
Yes, I've had the head in the record book smooth, the highest goal-kicking tally on this ground. You might have been here that day. Kelvin Templeton's 15 back in 1978.
Yeah, I was calling it that day on radio.
And Footscray's 33-15, 213 is the highest score ever recorded at this ground on that very day. Now, from the kick-in, it's worked to the other end of the ground, to the half-forward flank at least for Fitzroy, where a pack forms and umpire Pfeiffer breaks it up in the traditional way. He bounces the ball. Good bounce too. Rose meets Manson solidly and gets a beautiful tap. Down to Lewis. A hand pass off to Garlick, who's playing with a lot of composure. He sizes the situation up and delivers perfectly to Crawford's lead on the wing. Gray is starting to move at half forward. That's where he goes. Gray, very athletic. Can't mark this one. At the fall, a chance for Paxman. Fumbles, but he's supported by Chandler, who gives it to Baldwin. Now to Johnson, who pumps on a hand pass to Malloy. Good move this by Fitzroy. Malloy towards half forward. Awkward here for Guard. The ball just eluding him, bouncing away over the line for a throw-in. Up towards Fitzroy's right forward pocket. And surely they'll lift here, because they really do stare embarrassment in the face, and they'll give their supporters something to hang their hats on, you would hope, before the end of the day. But that scoreboard off in the distance is a very gloomy sight, 17-5 to 2-3.
Almost 2 minutes in the third term. Boundary throw in, up goes Rose. Couldn't get a real fist to it. Picked up in the pocket by Worry. Has a pot shot. It's out on the full. Free kick to the Sydney Swans to be taken by Chapman. Sydney 17-5, Fitzroy 2-3. Bobby, underway at Princes Park yet?
Underway, but no score. Greg Williams still on the bench. So too Cook, who looked to be carrying a shoulder. And I can only see 2 players on the interchange bench. I think there may be another Carlton player who has not come out.
Okay, so the Blues in real trouble there. West Coast by 67 points at half-time at Subiaco. Now it's Pike of Fitzroy kicking the ball from 50 up towards the goal square, almost a mark to Hawking. In there is Malloy, gets the hand pass to Hawking. He's tackled there by Kelly. The ball on the ground. Dent gets the hand pass towards goal, hoping someone might get a toe onto it, but no one's there. And Huskis works it over for a behind to the Roys. They scored a behind in the second term, and now they've scored a behind in the first 2.5 minutes of the third. It's a really barren old scoreboard for them. 2-4 to Sydney 17-5.
Lewis gets a lovely call from Garlick, and the kick's perfect. Garlick can run onto the bouncing ball at top pace. Hand pass to Creswell, who runs to the centre line, puts Sydney into attack, but it's a poor kick, and Millington takes the mark for Fitzroy. He goes virtually backwards as he picks out Baldwin, delivers to him nicely. Zanotti running out of defence, running off Lockett, looking for the hand pass. Alas, it's an awkward hand pass for him. He has to pursue it out to the boundary. Kicks to the centre line. Warry traps it well. Shocking hand pass. Has to get it back and give it off a second time to Chandler. He's under pressure by now. Gives it to Barker. Barker into half forward, and Baldwin, who almost dropped the chest mark, juggled it at the third attempt. Goes for goal on the run, off direction. Bit of a roll here for the Lions. They've kicked 2 behinds in the space of about a minute. They're 2-5-17 to Sydney 17-5, 107.
They're on the way back.
Short kick in by Dunkley finds Roos in the back pocket in front of the scoreboard here at the railway end. Fitzroy 2-5, Sydney 17-5. Kick by Roos out wide, and the mark has been taken by Daniels, who plays on, kicks the ball towards the wing. Chapman takes a good mark, almost kept running too, but saw Bizzotto there and decided to dig his toes in and stop, which was the right thing to do. He goes sideways with a foot pass to Rose. Rose takes the mark, hand pass to Garlick. Garlick goes short by foot, about 12 metres further down the field to Kapler, who kicks across the ground out towards Kickett. Kickett's waiting for the ball to bounce up. It eventually does. He's near the point of the square. Gets the hand pass to Rose. Here comes Lockett. Rose's kick to Lockett, who's got the front position. One grab. He goes to ground. He tries to lock it in. He does. He might be penalised for holding the ball. No, he's going to get a free kick. And I think I called it the other way. I thought he deliberately jarred it in to keep it in. Dougie Hawkins is having a word to the field umpire. In fact, he's pointing his finger at the field umpire, and Lockett is about to kick his 11th.
Apparently there was a bit of a family feud between the McBurneys and the Fannings.
What do you reckon that one, Crackers?
Well, actually, Lockett went to get the ball, and they did jump on his back, but he was trying to get the ball in. It's sort of one of those. I'm going to say that the umpire was closer than me, because I know Tony knows where I live.
He's 20 metres out, just a little off dead centre. In fact, they're going back on the mark, behind the mark, and they're going to run in at him. And Malloy and Dougie Hawkins. So it's a bit of a comedy act at the moment as they try to put the big fellow off. He's kicked 10 goals straight. He's into the breeze at the Barclay Street end. Here they come in. He runs in and kicks it over the top of them and puts it straight through for goal number 11. Goal number 11 for Lockett, 11 straight. A magnificent performance considering he's missed about 12 minutes of play for various reasons. Sydney 18-5, Fitzroy 2-5. It's still half-time at Subiaco, West Coast 12-13, Adelaide 2-6. Bobby at Princess Park.
No scorers yet, but Michael Voss has taken a mark 30 metres out from goal. Hardly any angle of note, and I believe Michael Sexton is the player that I can't pick up anywhere, and he is sitting down on the bench, but I don't think he'll take further part.
And Tim's got a very worried look on his face.
I was worried about Michael Sexton being kept in the rooms, being a chiropractor to work on a few of the injured players there. Bounce of the ball after Lockett has broken the all-time Sydney record, 11 goals, eclipsing Warwick Kappa's 10 back in 1986, and there'll be a secondary ball up. Umpire Scroop with the footy just outside the circle. It's quite firm there now after such lovely weather in the last 3 days or so. From the ball up, Lions looked like emerging. They will now with a free kick to Hawkins, who took a high tackle. Dougie in great form on the footy show on Thursday night, sitting in Sam's chair. Kicks into half forward. No one can mark. Swans first there. Creswell, very quick hands. Giving it off to Chapman, who gives it to Dunkley, to Lewis, to Daniels. All goal. Hand passes inside to Creswell. Another one to Garlick. There must have been 6 or 7, Jack. In towards half forward. Bays juggles the mark all the way down, but he's not paid. Kickett's got it. Lockett's one out, but he goes short to Gray, who marks 45 from home. Lockett still one out in the square. Wouldn't be a bad option, but McRae's even better over the top. He loops the ball to him, and Dean McRae marks at 25 metres from goal.
That's wrong. They shouldn't have done that. They should have given it to Tony.
18-5 to 2-5. The Swans' highest ever score, 36 goals, 20, 236. Perhaps I shouldn't be looking that far ahead just yet. Their highest against Fitzroy, 24-18, 162. McRae comes in and kicks another, and that 162 is not looking far away at all. As the Swans are 19-5, 119. Fitzroy 2-5-17. The margin has entered 3 figures.
Bobby, did Michael Voss kick that goal?
He did, and the Bears lead by 10 points, and they're still in attack again, but it's a fine start so far. 9-6-60, Carlton 7-8-50.
Crackers.
Lovely bit of play there by the Swans, actually. Moved the ball down there. Everybody was conscious of Lockett, and McRae just ran in, and Troy Gray's been a good player today, and kicked it over, and McKay took a lovely mark and kicked a fine goal. He's been a great player for him this year so far.
The Swans by a massive 17 goals. 8 minutes in the third term. Centre bounce, won by Rose, knocks it down towards McRae. You might have to give him a vote, Crackers, but he's collared, and there'll be a secondary ball up just on the attacking side of the circle for the Sydney Swans, who lead 19-5 to 2-5. At Subiaco, West Coast 12-13, Adelaide 2-6 at half-time. There's the ball up. No one can get the tap. Emerging with it, Creswell. Good hand pass to Roos. Pumps the hand pass to Kickett. And he's tackled. Was he tackled high? No, the umpire said play on. The ball out towards the wing, just past the coach's box there. Picked up by Dent, cross to Manson. He in turn gets it further down the field to Doyle. It comes in towards centre half forward to Baldwin. He's 60 metres out. Goes for the breeze. He's off direction. Out towards Malloy in the pocket. Traps it. Then grubs the ball to a more central position. Huskis comes in, knocks the ball out towards the boundary. Lewis taken high, does well, and will get the free kick, Dale Lewis. In the back pocket. Showed a lot of desperation. Got long hair this year. Flowing in the breeze. Anyway, he gets the hand pass away to Chapman. He's tripped behind play. Kepler gets hip and shoulder, goes to ground, and from a stand start, kicks the ball straight up in the air on the half-back line. Rose is underneath it, takes the mark. Gee, I must have only travelled about 6 or 7 metres. Rose has got it for the Swans, 19-5 to 2-5. The kick by Rose around the members' side of the ground. The Footscray members, up goes Bays. He punched the ball away and hurt himself too. He just fell for his finger after he punched it away. The ball comes to Crawford. Crawford's hand pass backwards, but it's mopped up by Roos. Back to Crawford by hand. Back to Roos. Overlap hand pass, Kickett. Here comes the lead from Lockett. A poor disposal by Kickett. Lockett takes it on the half volley. He's caught at centre half forward, but he gets the hand pass away to Gray. Gray out to Garlick. Garlick by hand to skipper Kelly. Kelly 20 metres out, and he's put it through for another goal. Sydney's 20th. They are 20 goals 5, 125 to Fitzroy 2-5-17. Bobby Skilton, Princess Park.
Still the Bears by 10 points. 9-6-60, Carlton 7-8-50.
Kelly's second goal.
Lovely bit of play there by the Swans. They are just playing the ball up and down the ground, and Fitzroy, they're not manning up. They're not trying to put pressure on the ball taker, and they've just got to run in numbers if they're going to do it. But, you know, all of a sudden they've just opened up, and it's just terrible. I've been in situations, but never as bad as this.
Ray Walker, you're playing in the second half at Subi?
Yes, we just started, Tim.
No score.
No score as yet.
From the ball up, Fitzroy with the footy defensive side of the pack, and Chandler it is who breaks away and pumps the Lions into attack, but it's marked by Daniels across half-back. On the defensive 50. Kicks out towards the wing, an untidy Jack Daniels kick. No further comment. Picked up for Fitzroy by Paxman. Pushed as he kicked, and it goes nowhere. Hawking onto it for the Lions. Hemmed in on the boundary. Good shepherd, though, by Barker. Kick inboard from Malloy is not good. Cleaned up for the Swans and delivered to Roos, who runs from behind the centre. Has a bounce. He's saying to Plugger, come to me. He doesn't go for Plugger. He goes to Gray, who takes the mark and plays on. Plugger says, I want it long. Gray to Garlick. Garlick over the top. Swans still a chance. Gray's got it again. Long searching left footer as he ignores Lockett. It's offline through for a behind. and Troy Gray. I'm just wondering about the relationship between the Gray and the Fannings over the years after that. 26-1-26 to 2-5-17.
Oh, he could have kicked it to him too.
Kick in by Dougie, or it's dangerous. Barker there marks the ball on the half-back flank for Fitzroy. Fitzroy 2-5-17. Sydney 20 goals, 6-1-26. Now the kick by Barker around the wing. The Swans have the numbers as it slides off the back of the pack. Player taken over the shoulder. And it's going to Pike, I think, against Huskus. No, it's the other way. Huskus has got the free kick. Plays on quickly. Poor delivery to half forward. On the bounce to Hawkins. Claimed there by Crawford. Loose ball comes away to Johnson. Johnson goes short to Pike on the half-back line. There's a bit of a dust-up behind play. In fact, now what's happening? There's going to be a free kick to Sydney about 30 metres away from the action. And it's not going to Lockett. It's going to Crawford. Now he's 45 metres out. And he's in a good spot, really, because Hawkins is on the mark. He's in that little muddy, gluey patch we talked about yesterday when we called the Footscray-Melbourne game. And to kick from there, we saw players miss when they just lost their footing with their left foot. Here he comes now, Crawford. No, it's swinging away. In fact, it's still in the field of play. It's in the right forward pocket. Lockett is contesting. The ball's on the ground. Lockett looks for a free kick. The ball cleared now. Back on play, there's going to be a free kick against Lockett, who kept holding on to Mellington. The Royals were clearing, though, at the same time. And play stopped. Mellington has got the free kick. Sydney 1-26, Fitzroy 17. Bobby Skilton, Princes Park.
Still the Bears by 9 points. 9-6-60, 7-9-51. But Tim, you'll be happy to know that Sexton has been warming up on the around the boundary line, so he doesn't look quite as bad as I did anticipate. And are you there, Ray?
Well, we've only been playing 3 minutes, and West Coast have kicked another 2 goals. They're 14-13-97 to Adelaide 2-6-18.
Fitzroy have the ball into their attacking half. Malloy had a chance, but Gasper ran hard at him and took it over the boundary line for a throw-in. Between wing and half-forward flank for the Lions, who have been goalless since the first quarter. In fact, they've managed only 3 behinds since Dougie Hawkins kicked the second of his 2 goals, the team tally. 20 goals, 6 Sydney, 2-5 Fitzroy. And it seems a long time ago that we were talking about how pumped up the Lions were and that they might cause the upset. Swans clear it away here. Gasper beyond the centre. Hawkins a double fister back towards midfield, but straight to Bays. Hand pass to Creswell. Gray gives him a lead out wide. Leads to the ball in front of Doyle. Comes back inboard onto the left foot. Poor kick, lacking penetration. Still a chance though for Garlick. 3 against him. Garlick goes the long arc back into play. Lovely hand pass to Huskus. Lockett and Kickett on the lead, and he goes to Kickett, who wants to give it to Lockett, but the umpire says you played on Derek. Derek didn't realise he's been tackled and penalised for holding the ball. Barker it was who summed it up quickly, realised the umpire had called play on. Kickett virtually had his back turned, walking back to take the free.
Yes, Lockett just 1 goal this term. He's kicked 11 goals straight. Now the kick by Barker up towards the wing. Lewis applies to tackle over the shoulder to Simon Atkins of Fitzroy, and the free kick being paid. Now it looks like Dion Miles, number 33, is about to come on for the Swans. The kick by Atkins towards half forward. Daniels off the pack for the Swans. He's on the ground, but he keeps the ball in play. But it's picked up there by Hawking. Hawking now on the attacking side of the centre. Malloy, he'll take the mark and run straight in. No, he doesn't take the mark, but he will run in and kick a goal for Fitzroy, and that's their 3rd. And it's been a long time since they've scored their previous goal. They are 3-5-23, Fitzroy. Sydney, 20 goals, 6-1-26. Bobby at Princes Park.
They get goal to Koutafidis, and it's 8-9-57 Carlton. 3 points behind Brisbane Bears, 9-6-60 Ray Walker.
Another goal to West Coast. They now lead 15-13, 103 to Adelaide 2-6-18.
First goal to Fitzroy since the 17-minute mark of the first quarter. A couple of their supporters were staring this way as that one went through. I think they're listening to us down there, and they don't like the sound of what they're hearing, but we can only call what we see. From the ball up, Kapler puts the Swans into attack. Bays runs onto it, traps it beautifully. Shocking kick though. Didn't quite know whether to go long or whether Lockett was on the lead. Zanotti runs onto it. Lockett bearing down in menacing manner, but Zanotti's clearing kick is good. Barker can't quite mark it at half-back. It's over the boundary line for a throw-in with Fitzroy fans, and it's their stronghold just outside the playing field in that part of the ground, telling the umpire that had to be a free kick against Kelly for interference. Throw-in. 4 to the wing for the Swans. off the pack, Creswell and Kelly and Garlick, who's had a lot of the ball. Baldwin ran hard at Garlick, who just saw him coming. Picked up by McRae. Hand pass to Rose. Left foot kick into half forward. Kick it versus Hawkins. Hawkins knocks it away, but straight to Kelly. Lockett's on the lead. Kelly goes for him, and Plugger's got it. He's got it at the second bite in the left forward pocket. Difficult angle. He's trying to reduce it by walking back towards the centre of the ground, but the umpire says no, Tony, out towards the boundary line. And this is not an easy shot, but it is the left forward pocket. The man on the mark is about 25 metres out. Lockett standing out near the boundary line, comes inboard, lines them up, goes for it, and I think he's done it. The Swans fans like it. The goal umpire seems to like it. Yes, he does. Lockett has 12, approaching the 18-minute mark of the third quarter. And the Swans are into the 20s. They're into the 21s, in fact. 21-6, 132 to Fitzroy, 3-5-23. Bobby Skelton at Optus Oval.
Bears by 2 points, 9-6-60, Carlton 8-10-58. But Greg Williams lining up to kick from about 48 metres.
Another goal to West Coast. They lead by 91 points. West Coast 16-13, 109 to Adelaide 2-6-18, playing 7 minutes.
Swans by 109 points.
Just look down the goal square. I think Paul Fanning's down there, Fred's son.
From the centre bounce, let's see, who's going to emerge with it? That's Manson. Hand pass across to Atkins, who kicks Fitzroy forward, but number 3, Dale Lewis, is there for the Swans. Runs leisurely across the half-back line, sees Chapman out wide. Chapman can't mark. He's out number 2-1. The ball picked up by Barker. Good harassment, Chapman, picked up by Guard. Hand pass to Pike. Pike kicks to an unguarded goal, and doubling back is Paul Roos, and Roos will clear. He'll sweep the ball out towards Skipper Kelly. No, he says, I'll go further than that. I'll look for Dean McRae, Crackers' favourite Sydney Swans player. No, he can't mark. He might have to give him a vote after all after that, Crackers. Now the ball picked up by Miles, just on. Dion Miles for the Swans, kicks up towards the wing. Up goes Chappell, a couple of beat. No one can mark it. Picked up by Atkins, underground hand pass to Guard. It wasn't good. Creswell does well. Gets the hand pass to McRae. Back to Garlick, who's been great. Garlick's hand pass to Kapler. Out wide to sweeping hand pass to Skipper Kelly. Kelly kicks down in towards the forward pocket. The ball bounces inside 50, and although Fitzroy have 2-on-1, they work it over, and there'll be a boundary throw in. 35 metres out from goal, right forward pocket at the Barclay Street end. Sydney 132, Fitzroy 23. We'll get the result of Greg Williams' kick in a moment, but Lockett has a scoring chance here because the ball isn't far away from goal. He's kicked 12 straight. Up they go. Off the pack. Creswell, will he kick him towards the pocket? He does. And Lockett's underneath it. Now it's going too far away. Zanotti can't mark. Lockett applies to tackle. Zanotti's kick doesn't go too far, although it does bounce outside 50 now. Away from Derek Kickett. Had more on it than I thought. Kickett gets the hip and shoulder, but he does tackle Barker well. I don't know why he legged him, did he? And Barker's got the free kick on the half-back flank. Bobby, did Greg Williams kick that goal for the Blues?
He did, and the Carlton are in front by 4 points. It's 9-10-64 with Brisbane Bears 9-6-60.
OK, you've certainly got the close one today. 4 points into the Princess Park, and it's a whitewash at Subiaco. Ray, what's the latest score from there?
Well, the margin's 92 points. It's 16-14, 110 to Adelaide 2-6-18.
The ball out of play right below us here at the Western Oval. Lockett has kicked 12 goals straight. McRae barges through. They might name a tank after McRae after that. He really tried to split the pack wide open, but couldn't do so. Sydney 21-6, Fitzroy 3-5. We're 20 minutes just over in the third term.
Time of the essence in the record-breaking stakes. Rose knocks it Sydney's way. Pike first there. Shrugs a tackle from Rose. Well done, Martin Pike. And then picks out a target and delivers pretty well in the Jeremy Guard direction. The ball bounces away from him. Kelly had it. Dispossessed by a good tackle from Guard. Hawkins, hand pass to Charlie from 50. Goes for home and just misses. And curses himself for that. They're the ones he normally nails. Sydney 21-6, 132 to Fitzroy 3-6-24.
He needs realigning, James. Just straighten them up a bit.
He dropped the ball with his guitar hand, I think, Crackers.
He's doing very well now. He's painting. He wants to paint Australia.
Does he really? That's interesting. Sydney 108 points in front. Now the kick in by Lewis. He keeps it low, and it's okay. No, Creswell almost. Drums goes to Manson. Good hand pass to Atkins. Atkins from 50, a stand start, and it's been touched, and Miles will clear the ball. Almost a goal there. I think the Fitzroy player might have touched it at the early part of the ball. It was only about a metre away from the line, and it's gone over from Miles, but just before it did, it bounced before the white line for a throw-in. 60 out from the Roy boys' goal. 3-6 to 21-6. Boundary throw-in. Up goes Rose, knocks it down. Who to? Well, the Swans player got it in the back, yes. And he will emerge, and his number is... it's Creswell. He's on the half-back flank. Now he hand passes to Garlick, who runs across the half-back line, sees the lead from skipper Kelly. Oh, it's a shocking kick, and it drops short, and Hawking has marked 40 metres out for the Roys, directly in front. So over finessing there, and obviously not getting his toe into the boot as well as he would have liked. It dropped very short, only went about 25 metres. Now Hawking just being realigned from the mark from umpire Steve McBurney. And a chance for Fitzroy's fourth goal. We'll check the other venues after this kick. Simon Hawking leans back, left foot kick, and it is reasonably close. I think he's happy with it. Yep, he's put it through. So Simon Hawking gets his first. Lockett's kicked 12, 2 each to Kapler and Kelly. And Dougie Hawkins has kicked 2 for Fitzroy. 4-6 to 21 goal 6. Bobby at Princes Park.
Carlton have had the last 8 scoring shots, but have kicked 2 goals 6 to go to a 7-point lead. 10-12-67 to... 9-13-67, 7-point lead over Brisbane, 9-6-60, Ray Walker.
30-minute mark, it's West Coast leading by 91 points. West Coast 16-14, 110. Lead Adelaide 2-7-19.
Swans by 102 here. We're just outstripping you, Ray, from the ball up. Now Fitzroy win possession of the ball, and it's well done by Johnson, who goes across ground to Barker. A hand pass to the running Baldwin. Traps it cleverly in one hand and gets around Huskus in towards half forward. Roos backing back with plenty of courage there. Takes the mark for the Swans. Inside centre half-back, only about 30 metres out from the goal front. He goes for Gasper over on the flank. Gasper runs through the 50, kicks towards Kapler, a big ball winner that always uses it well with that destructive left boot. He spears a pass inboard to Creswell or Dunkley. Creswell it is who takes the mark. Pair of Tasmanian stalwarts for the Swans. Creswell towards Rose, chopped off by Baldwin, who brings it down and gives Fitzroy a bit of a chance, but it's picked up by Huskus. He's dispossessed. Let go of the ball, says the umpire, and it's a free kick to Paxman of Fitzroy, forward of the centre. And the Lions are having their best quarter of the match. They've kicked 2 goals and kept the Swans to 4. Paxman across ground, and there might be some more in store here for Fitzroy. Johnson trying to run onto it. 3 defenders against him though. He's on his knees. Hand pass to Atkins. The Axe gets it off, I think, to Worry. Worry inside to Barker. On the end of the square, kicks towards Manson, and Charlie's marked at 45 out. Surely he'll nail this one, having missed once. They say everyone makes mistakes, but champions don't make the same mistake twice.
No, and the umpires are very confident he's starting to walk over to pick up his flag.
2 of them, in fact.
Yes.
In he comes.
He might be surrendering, Craig.
Kicks from 45, starts it on line, but the wind. Those winds of the Western Oval, which Charlie hasn't quite come to terms with yet, got him there, and it's a minor score. 21-6, 132 to 4-7-31.
They've just got to kick around. They've got to kick it over, say about 16 or 17 of them to be a chance. Goals for me.
Kick in by Lewis from fullback. Now where's the ball? It's been marked by Gasper. Gasper's kick out wide to Kapler. Kapler, yes, takes no. It's been punched away by Johnson and allowed to play on. That was a funny one. I thought he'd taken the mark. Barker picks it up, gets the hand pass, picked up by Bisotto. Runs into Brunton though, but gets around Brunton. Then kicks to Baldwin. Creswell late on the scene, but Baldwin's marked wide of centre. Gives the hand pass to Atkins. Atkins now, a long kick up towards full forward. Up goes Manson. He's got about 3 to beat, and Paul Roos doubling back has taken the mark, who gets the hand pass across to Lewis, who's done well, but not much to beat down there. He's gone short to Huskus, who takes the mark at centre half back, runs away from Millington. Scragg just at the last moment, kicks up towards, and in fact it was advantage further down the field. Well, I called it Scragg at the last moment, but it wasn't all that terrible. It's coming back. coming all the way back.
Penalising the side. It was marked.
Now, Huskis has played on and finds himself in trouble, but not for long. Handball across to Gaspar. Gaspar now at centre half-back. Goes out wide to Brunton. Guard behind. The ball spills, comes off their hands. Guard gets a high tackle, plays on quickly. The advantage was by Jack. Gets the hand pass to Dougie Hawkins. Hawkins gets the hand pass further down the field, and it's cleared there by Paxman, who kicks the ball up towards centre half forward. Off the pack. Let's see who's going to emerge. It's Malloy. Tries to nudge it to someone. Lamb was that player. In fact, it was Worry. The ball comes out of the pack, and it's cleared by Chapman. He finds Kickett on the half-back line. Time running out for Plugger. He's kicked 12. He really needs to get one more before three-quarter time to make almost a good thing for the Breeze in the final term. Here's his chance as the lead from Lockett. Kelly delivers. Lockett goes up. One grab. Picks it up. This way, that way. Kicks towards goal, and he's put it through. Lockett, no, he hasn't. It dropped. Well, it spun towards goal, but was picked up by Kepler about a metre out. It was spinning towards goal. There wasn't a Fitzroy defender within Cui. I don't think Tony's too happy about that. That's the one he needed to have a crack at this all-time record. But Kepler intercepted a metre out and put it through for a goal, his third. So Tony, unlucky not to get his 13th. He's kicked 12 straight. Sydney 22-6, Fitzroy 4-7. Bobby Skelton.
Another goal to Pearce, and Carlton have moved to a 13-point lead. 26 minutes have gone. 10-13, 73. Brisbane 9-6, 60. Ray Walker.
At the 17-minute mark, it's now West Coast leading by 79 points. West Coast 16-14, 110. Lead Adelaide 4-7, 31.
Fitzroy free kick out of the centre. Manson goes wide to Barker. There's the siren. It's three-quarter time. So Lockett goes to the last change with only 12. Only 12 at three-quarter time. Sydney 22-6, 138. Fitzroy 4-7, 31. The Swans lead by 107 points. But they come home with the win here. And who knows what might be in store in the last term. Lockett, 12 goals. 2 each to Kepler, Kelly and Crawford, with singles to McRae, Creswell and Gray. And for Fitzroy, Hawkins 2, with 1 each in that quarter to Malloy and Hawking. Sydney 22-6, 138. Fitzroy 4-7, 31.
Peter Keenan shortly. Let's update the scores from Princess Park. Bobby Skelton.
13-point lead to Carlton, 10-13, 73. Brisbane 9-6, 60.
Still playing, Bob?
They are still playing. It's 27 minutes, 28 minutes, and Bears moving into attack.
Is there a scoring end there, Bob?
Not really, Tim. I think in this quarter, Carlton have just played the better football as the Bears did in the second quarter.
OK, Bobby, give us the goal kickers. Final term about to get underway. Just briefly, Jack stats from Tim Lane.
Big possessions. Garlick, good player, 24. Kelly and Roos, 22. Creswell and Kickett, 20. Lockett, 14. 10 marks, 12 goals. For Fitzroy, a few in double figures now. Pike, Atkins, Barker, all 14. Baldwin and Johnson, 12 apiece. The marks, Sydney, 68-22.
OK, the final term is underway, and Sydney lead by 107 points at a sunny Western Oval. And what will the next 28 minutes produce? Maybe history, we'll wait and see. From the centre bounce, Rose knocks it down to Creswell, hand pass to Kelly, but he was taken out of it by Chandler. Chandler's hand pass, now there was a throw and all of that. It's going against Fitzroy.
It's a free kick against James Manson. He took Kelly high.
All right, Kelly, now he goes out wide, and it's been marked by Crawford. The lead comes from Lockett. He's on a lead, he's going to get it, and he takes the mark in the forward pocket. Lockett with 12 straight. He's 25 metres out. He's had a shot from the same position as the crowd, just the last remaining few dozen of the crowd that have changed from one end of the ground to the other, just make their way, and there's a big crowd now behind the goals at the highway end.
Ross Oakley's down there, isn't he?
I'm not sure.
Usually comes to the Western Oval on Sundays.
He loves it, yeah.
Loves it out here.
Yeah. Now, here's Lockett. Drop punt on its way. It is... Oh, I think he might have kicked it. The crowd response is good. He's put it through. So Lockett's kicked the goal 1 minute and 10 seconds into the final term, and the Sydney Swans players know it now. I think they're going to look for him even more. 3 or 4 players have come in, and that one, it was touch and go, but it just snuck in for a goal to Lockett. He's 13th. Sydney 23-6, Fitzroy 4-7. Crackers.
Well, he's kicked more goals in one game than I kicked all year, 1 year, but he's absolutely sensational. It was good movement of the ball by the Swans. Kelly got the free kick, and he's been tremendous, Kelly, and lovely convert. He hasn't missed one yet.
Bobby playing in the last quarter.
Only just started, Tim. No score. Still a 13-point lead to Carlton.
From the ball up, Kelly has to go out the back door. Does it well. Gives it to Rose. Back to Kelly. Kelly onto Creswell. Here we go again. Creswell on the left boot. Sets it up. Lockett can't get there for the contest. Off the pack. Big pack around the ball. It won't come out of there easily. It doesn't. And there'll be a ball up 45 metres from Sydney's goal. The Swans 23-6. The Lions 4-7. Lockett 13.
And Tony sprints back to give himself a bit of room for the short kick. A ball up 40 out from the Swans goal. Up they go. Knocked down by Gray. But taken through the pack by a Fitzroy player that I couldn't see. Kicks the ball out towards the half-back flank for the Roys. Out there is Worry. Pursuing him is Gray. Worry from half-back for the Roys. Kicks the ball around the eastern wing. Gasper takes a good mark. And he plays on quickly. Runs up towards the middle. Drives in towards the Kelly direction. The ball goes past Kelly, but it'll sit up for him. It does. He's on the point of the square. Delivers on the bootlaces of Bays. He swings around. Gets out of a tackle. The lead from Lockett. It doubles back into the goal square. Up he goes. No. Oh, he's lost it, and they'll clear the ball away. And the raging bull will clear up towards centre half back where Dent has taken a mark in front of Kelly. Dent with a hand pass. No, he goes with a foot pass. In fact, he's almost conceded ground out to Worry. Worry out wide to Baldwin where they had a loose man. So it's come off okay for the Roys, who trail 31 to 144. Baldwin carries the ball. He's run a hectare. He's had a couple of bounces, touches the ball on the ground, delivers to half forward. Not much there at the moment for Fitzroy. Kick off the ground by Pike, but straight to Ruse, who's been a terrific sweeper today. He gets the hand pass out to McRae. McRae's foot pass, not a good one, but it's okay for Lewis. Has got a ton of time to size up the situation. Looks further down the field and finds Crawford. Crawford breaks clear. Lockett says kick it long. He's one out. He's got to lead in towards the forward pocket. Up he goes. Can't mark. Terrific work down there by Zanotti. And there'll be a boundary throw in just a few metres away from the Sydney Swans goal. 144 the Swans, Fitzroy 31, and Lockett has 13 straight.
Mark Zanotti not showing a great sense of history here. Doing everything he can to deny Lockett. And it's the way to play it. The only way. And no one would want it any other way. They have to be earned from the throw-in. Pack around it. Lions prevail. Johnson squirts out a hand pass to Worry, who runs out of the back pocket, kicks it out of bounds on the full as he kicked it out towards the half-back flank. Had too much carry on it. The wind just sucked it away. And it's a free kick to Chapman, who goes backwards as he delivers to Lewis just forward of the wing. And the Swans will try and set something up for Lockett. Kick in board from Lewis, just too far for Huskus, who was meant to be on the end of it. Creswell mops up, kicks long. Lockett with 2 to beat. Can't take the mark. They're playing him closely and well, and it's off hands through for a minor score. 23-7, 145 Sydney. Fitzroy 4-7, 31. Bobby Skilton.
No score so far in this final term. A 13-point lead to Carlton. 10-13, 73. Brisbane 9-6, 60.
We're at the 28-minute mark, and it's West Coast leading by 90 points. West Coast 18-15, 123 to Adelaide 4-9, 33.
Now Rose has got the ball for the Swans, kicks him towards the forward pocket. Brunton is there. He looks for Lockett. Where is he? He might have been held on too hard to tell. He kicks the ball towards goal, and it's just come off the shin of a Fitzroy player. I'm not sure whether it was going to head towards just to the left of the major upright, but it came off the shin or the knee of a Fitzroy player. So he's kicked it behind. His record is now blemished. 13-1. Sydney 23-8, Fitzroy 4-7.
Jack shaking the head vehemently, saying rush behind.
Rush, was it?
Yeah, I reckon it was too.
Okay, all right.
Now, ball back in play. A little 1-2 from Fitzroy as they work it down the corridor and then out sideways to Johnson, who's still not far forward of the back pocket. He goes back into the corridor to Baldwin, who then goes to the other flank. Now, that's 5 possessions, I think, and Zanotti's marked it on the 50. He runs clear now, though. Kicks towards the centre line, and it's well held by Bizzotto. Low down. Plays on. Spears a little pass onto Barker, who takes the mark just forward of the centre line. And I think that took 7 disposals. Barker in towards half forward. Hawking, the man meant to be on the end of it. Lewis got his body in the way, though, and Hawking careered into his back. It's a free kick to Sydney. Paul Kelly wanting to run away with the ball, but the umpire says, no, you must bring it back. Lewis with the ball, forward of half-back. Swans, incidentally, in white shorts today. I haven't seen them play in white shorts for many years. It was an unusual sight to see their reserves when I got here. Lewis kicks beyond the centre. Fitzroy with the numbers back there at the moment, though. Strong tackling from the Swans. Too strong. They give away a free kick. Doyle, a hand pass to Chandler and another hand pass to the running guard.
He's at centre half back and kicks beyond the centre into the breeze. Up they go. Manson can't mark. Gasper does well. Knocks the ball down to McRae. McRae's high ball. A chance for Lockett. 30 out. He interferes though. He's pushed. He's taken the mark, Tony, but he's given away a free kick to the ball, Zanotti. And Zanotti's taken the free kick about 20 metres out from the goal. He's defending. He kicks out wide. The mark taken by Doyle. Doyle short to Barker. Barker half-back flank. Gets a sweeping hand pass to Dent. Dent's on the wing right below us. He doubles back and goes. He hand passes 15 metres back. That's unbelievable play. Barker's taken the mark after getting it from Doyle. And really, they should have been further down the field than this. Sydney 23-8, Fitzroy 4-7. Lockett's kicked 13. We played 7 minutes in the final term, so the clock ticking down as Lewis has taken the mark. Gets the handball across to Creswell. Kicks in towards the middle where it's marked by Crawford. So the Swans are moving something here. He kicks out wide to Kelly. He likes disposing to Big Tony. Now Tony leads. He's on a lead. He's got a break. Will he get it? Up he goes. No, he's been taken down. He'll get the free kick, Lockett. And that was fair enough. Three-quarter time at Subiaco. We'll get the score from Ray after this kick from Big Tony. Right half forward flank. At the highway end, he's a good 20 metres in from the boundary. He's on his non-preferred side. He's on a 45-degree angle, in essence, and he's about 40 metres out. But Zanotti was behind. Lockett had the break, but a player came in from the side, and that's where the problem started. They scragged him high up around the collar. Okay, 13 straight for Lockett. He puts the ball on the ground. We're right behind this, so we'll have a good sight of it for you. The clock showing 8.5 minutes, so still another 20 minutes of play left to get this magical 18. Here he comes. A lot of preparation time, close to 40 seconds. Almost a new world record. Here he comes. The breeze behind him. The drop punt. Straight through the middle. There's goal number 14. Lockett has kicked 14 goals straight here at the Western Oval. A magnificent performance and still plenty of time in the final term to get another 4. Sydney 24-8, Fitzroy 4-7. Bobby at Princess Park.
Carlton by 7 points after 8 minutes. It's 10-14-74. Brisbane 10-7-67. Ray.
Three-quarter time at Subiaco. And West Coast 18 goals, 15-1-23, leading Adelaide 4-10-34.
They should be able to almost stop Lockett, you know, because they'll crowd him up down there, and they can get enough bodies down there. They should be able to get the ball away. That they've probably decided to see if they can make a game of it in this last quarter, but that free kick was there.
Yes, no question. Pretty hard to see him breaking the record. He needs 5 more, and we've played nearly 10 minutes now in the last quarter. From the ball up, Fitzroy first possession, Chandler, and he's been a trial, the little bloke for the Lions. Doesn't go very far, but they're 30 metres forward of the centre. Pack over the ball. Ball up, says umpire Greg Scroop. 24-8 to 4-7. A lead of 121 points to the Swans. As Greg Scroop bounces it. Sun still shining brightly here. Manson gets the tap and Baldwin grabs the footy. Kicks into half forward for Fitzroy. Malloy Paxman it is. Can't take the mark. Off the pack. Swans with the numbers. Although Atkins steals it from Lewis. Lewis lays a good tackle. Prizes the ball away, but it spills to Manson. Hand pass looking for Baldwin. Pushed away by Ruse. Ruse collects the footy. Kicks out towards the wing. Off the side of the boot though. It bounces over the line for a throw-in. Still just Fitzroy's side of the wing, below the John Gent stand. In fact, between the John Gent and the Whitten stands, as Kickett is coming back for Sydney. So they're making a change, and that'll stiffen up the midfield. Here comes the throw-in.
Almost 11 minutes final term. Rose gets it down to Kelly, who's been gallant today. Kelly's kicked to half forwards, marked by Johnson of Fitzroy. And he plays on quickly, goes in towards the midfield where Bizzotto is there. Huskis late on the scene, but Frankie Bizzotto's taken the mark on the attacking side of the centre. Short lead from Dent, but he doesn't go to Dent, he goes to Hawking, who's much shorter. As they go up into the breeze. Good kick into the breeze. He kept it fairly low, looking for Barker, who gets a front-on push from McRae. And Johnny Barker will take the free kick for Fitzroy. Sydney 152, Fitzroy 31, and we're 11 minutes into the final term. And still the crowd down at the southern end, just hoping Tony might get another 4 and hopefully another 5. The time is running out. Barker now The drop punt, it's offline poorly, and it's through for a behind. So Johnny Barker gets his second score of the day, a behind. Fitzroy 4-8, Sydney 24-8. Bobby Skilton, Princess Park.
Only one goal scored so far in this quarter by Brisbane. It's Carlton 10-14-74. 7 points up on Brisbane, 10-7-67.
Three-quarter time at Subiaco. West Coast by 89 points. Here come the Saints again.
Swans as it's kicked in. Kelly runs onto it. Couldn't quite collect cleanly. Millington gets in the way and gives it to Baldwin, to Chandler, to Atkins. Good move by the Lions and a relayed free kick. Atkins apparently pushed by Creswell after kicking the ball. Canterville McRae is it being spoken to by umpire Scroop. No one was inconvenienced. There's no one lying on the deck or whatever. But the umpire was satisfied there was an unnecessary late infringement. Roos is coming off. Kapler back on for the Swans. Dougie Hawkins off as well. And Lamb is back. Malloy from 45 metres out into the wind gives it a good old hoof. If it holds its own, it's there. It's a good kick. And Jared Malloy gets his second. The Lions fifth. Sydney 24-8, 152. Fitzroy 5-8, 38 at the 13-minute mark. And Sav Rocker might have felt he was pretty safe in second position on the table.
All of a sudden.
Yesterday with 8, up to 86 for the year. He was 12 clear of Lockett. Lockett's overtaken him with 14 to be on 88 at the moment.
It's been a big haul, hasn't it? I don't think it's over yet, to be honest, but that was a nice goal by Malloy. It was a silly bit of play by Dean McRae. He's just fallen from grace from me, but nice goal.
Umpire McBurney, and they're playing in the final term at Subiaco, and the Eagles lead by 89 points. Now from the centre bounce, there'll be a secondary ball up just on the attacking side for the Sydney Swans, who lead 152-38. Bobby Skilton only at Princess Park.
A point to White, and it's 74-68. 10-14 to 10-8 in favour of Carlton.
The Blues by a goal from the ball up. Manson knocks it back towards the middle, coming through. Dent gets the hand pass to Atkins. Bit ambitious, and Atkins tries to squeeze the hand pass out. It goes to Brunton. His hand pass meant for Crawford. Players come in. Millington over the top of the pack for Fitzroy. A ball up on the centre square line. Lockett has 13 straight here at the Western Oval. 10 up till half-time.
14.
10 up till half-time, and he must have missed about 10 or 12 minutes of play in the first half. Oh, Rose, a good tap down from the ball up to Garlick. By hand to Crawford. He's collared by Millington, but he gets the hand pass back to Garlick, who goes backwards by hand to Kickett, who kicks down towards the pocket to Lockett again. He can't mark it. In fact, he was too far underneath the ball, and so was Zanotti. And it's a boundary throw-in. About 25 metres away from the Swans' goal, in front of the main scoreboard here at the Western Oval. The ground bathed in sunshine. Lockett back in the goal square with Zanotti. Now the throw in. Gray and Ruck along with Manson. Manson the tap, but Shark there by, it would have been Sydney Swans player, kicks towards the forward pocket. No one can get it. In fact, Lockett had it, and also Zanotti, and it was Arnott who snapped the ball in towards the forward pocket. So the Swans working it close to the goal. It's only a few metres around from the behind post. Now let's see, Lockett back in the goal square. Boundary throw in. Up goes Manson. Knocked down by Gray, although Manson came to it again. Lost it. Chandler tried to get it out. And let's see, it's in dispute. Picked up there by a Sydney Swans player who's gone to ground. It was Crawford. Doesn't mind getting in the thick of things. He kicked the ball out on the full. And Worry will take the free kick for Fitzroy. Bobby Skilton only at Princess Park.
Carlton by 5 points. 10-14-74. Brisbane 10-9-69.
I think we can safely say you've got the close one, Bob. From that kick back into play, Rose a chance for Sydney, but he sprays it back out on the full. So it's another free kick to the Lions in the back pocket to be taken by Johnson. 19 goals the margin here. And at three-quarter time at Subiaco it was 89 points. Johnson's kick around the half-back flank. Now there's a Fitzroy player down. Is that Manson?
James, yep.
On the deck. Don't know what happened. Crackers, did you see anything? Nope. Out to half-back. Atkins a hand pass to Millington. Millington pumps it on to Dent. Just behind the centre. Kicks Fitzroy into attack. Leading at the ball, Paxman can't mark. Mopped up for Sydney by Chapman. Hand pass to Garlick. To Gasper, to Huskus. And now to Dunkley, who's been quiet today after concussion last week. He kicks beyond the centre line. Marked by Arnott for Sydney. Building something up here, but not a lot of movement in at half forward. He goes for Kickett, who's got two against him in an impossible position. Now he's got the footy. Gives it to Crawford. Crawford off. And on to Kelly. Kelly to an open goal. And he goes all the way and puts it through. Lockett sagged away for the hand pass if Kelly wanted it, but he played the percentage option and drives it through for full points. Kelly's third. And the Swans 25th, 25-8, 158. Fitzroy 5-8-38.
I think Kelly apologised too.
Bobby Skelton, a thriller.
Still 5 points. 10-14-74, 10-9-69 in favour of Carlton.
And a thriller at Subiaco, 97 points the margin in favour of West Coast. They lead 19-17, 131 to Adelaide, 4-10-34.
Crackers.
Well, we've got a thriller here, actually. Kelly, he really did want to give it to Lockett, and Lockett decided, well, no, you can kick it. He said, you're this closer. Just, give him a bit of a run. But, they're just playing all over. And that was a lovely bit of play by the Swans, and they are just playing the ground now.
25-8 to 5 goals 8. 20 goals shellacking. Up in the middle, Manson tries his heart out down to Bizzotto as they kick their high score against Fitzroy.
4 points short. Next goal will do it.
Miles is marked for the Swans at centre half-back. Look at the players everywhere on the outer side. Rose was one option, and out there is Lewis who's taken the mark. Now, let's see, Lewis goes short to Kelly. Kelly will want to give it to Lockett. Now, Lockett, he leads. No, he's going to go short to Kickett. So Kickett 60 out. Lockett leads. He's got a bit of a break. He's heading towards the pocket. The ball on the bounce, so it wasn't to him. His disposal kicker today hasn't been as good as normal. Oh, gee, Lockett goes in hard, and Millington didn't appreciate it, and so did some of the Fitzroy supporters, and Johnson runs it over, and Millington saying to the field umpire, I was held. Well, he was more than held. He was almost killed. Sydney by 120 points. A boundary throw-in beside the right behind post. Lockett back in the goal square. But a snap would see it through from this close anyway, so Lockett might be out of any goal contention. Taken out of the air by Manson, gets the hand pass, and it's been dribbled over the line by Chandler. So still close to Sydney Swans' goal. Lockett 14. And we've played 18 minutes. So it looks forlorn now after a promising start. Manson tries to take the ball out of the air, and it's Chandler who breaks clear. No, it's young Johnson breaks clear from centre half-back. He kicks the ball out wide, gets a call from Pike in the shade, and comes out towards the boundary. It doesn't find him to mark it, so he's got a hand pass further down the field as he ran away from Eustace, and the ball is taken by Barker. Kicks the ball up towards the wing, but coming through is Dunkley. He shrugs the tackle, kicks the ball in towards Gray, but it's too far for him, and doubling back is Doyle. Doyle on the half-back playing for Fitzroy. Bobby, what's the latest at Princess Park?
The Bears are doing everything but score goals, that is. They are 10-11-71, 4 points down to Carlton, 10-15-75, Ray.
98-point lead to West Coast, 19-18, 132 to Adelaide, 4-10-34.
Now let's see, Zanotti's up in the wing, the big plug is back in the goal square. Little Johnson's gone back to pick him up as Zanotti has a soccer kick up towards half-forward. A rebound here would be interesting with big plugger outsizing poor little Johnson, but the ball on half-back for the Sydney Swans. Rose tries to get a hand pass out, he does to Garlick, although Baldwin puts his body in, just knocks the ball on to Chandler. The ball picked up by McRae, tackled by Chandler. The ball goes loose, it comes out of the pack, and Chapman hand passes further down. Gee, they're still going in hard. Rose copped one then too. I think he might have been taken on the nose by Bizzotto. We'll just have to wait and see. Hawking is marked for Fitzroy about 45 metres out from goal. Now Rose is okay. In fact, it's his elbow, I think. Oh yes, he's calling for the trainers. And Gavin Rose is coming off. Now Simon Hawking, 45 metres out. Drop punt into the breeze. It's a high ball. It'll land a few metres short. Up goes Malloy in spectacular fashion. Didn't bring it down. Garlick the hand pass to Chapman, and Chapman clears from fullback and gets a bit of a nudge after he disposed of the ball by Malloy. Is it coming back or is it further down the field? Play's gone on. Kickett now gets the hand pass in towards the middle, which taken by Creswell. Creswell back to Kickett. He's looking for Tony, although I think Manson's the wall there. Lockett leads. He's got a break on them, and he's marked in the forward pocket. Lockett, 35 metres out on his non-preferred side, but he's a good 12 metres in from the boundary. We're right behind this. He has kicked 14 goals straight, Big Tony. Ball on the ground, pulling up his socks. And here he comes again. 10 goals before half-time, and 4 so far in the second half. Here he is. Manson's on the mark, probably singing one of his favourite songs to Tony as he comes in to try and put him off. Here he comes. Lockett, drop punt. Oh, straight through the middle. He's kicked another one. Lockett has kicked 15 straight. Sydney 26-8. Fitzroy 5-8. Lockett 15 straight. Bobby Skelton.
Unfortunately, the Bears just don't know how to score a goal, and we now find Clappe 40 metres out directly in front, with Carlton leading by 5 points. 10-16, 76. Brisbane 10-11, 71 rate.
West Coast now lead by 103 points at the 9-minute mark. West Coast 20 goals, 18. 138 lead Adelaide 4-11, 35.
Lockett equalling a few records there. Equals Bob Pratt's 15, best ever for South Melbourne or Sydney. Equals Kelvin Templeton's 15, best ever on the Western Oval. History equalled if not broken today. From the ball up, Kelly to kick it, and now to McRae. Can't take it cleanly. Sockers in towards half forward. Fumble by the Fitzroy defence, might let the Swans in. Gray runs at it. McRae has a go in support, but it spills to the boundary for a throw-in. Half forward flank for the Swans. We've played 22 and a half minutes. Bobby, how did Clappe get on?
Out of bounds on the full with a kick back into play. It's been marked by Justin Madden 50 metres out.
Oh, he won't miss. Throw in. We'll get back to you in a moment. Ruckman contest. Manson pushed in the back. Fitzroy's ball at halfback. Almost 23 minutes gone. Maybe 5 or 6 minutes left for the Swans and Big Tony. He's got a chance as a short pass misses Zanotti, but Lockett couldn't pick it up. He had the opportunity to pick it up and blaze from 50 metres. Ball in dispute. Kepler dispossessed. Chance for Bizzotto of Fitzroy. Runs into a tackle. Hand passes to Baldwin in the clear. He chips on towards Malloy, working his way up to the wing and taking the mark for the Lions. Skilts, how did Big Harry go?
Hasn't kicked yet, Tim, because of Rice coming off on the blood bin.
Harry does take a while too. Inside comes Malloy, and Dent marks it in the centre. Mongrel kicking towards half forward, but all is well that ends well, and this one does because Malloy marks it. He hand passes to Hawking under the gun, gives it off to Barker at the 50, hooks it goalward, shocking kick, taken by Lamb, forced to retreat, hand pass back to Barker, or is it Paxman who blazes away from the 50, doesn't quite make the distance, out to the pocket it spills, over the boundary line for a throw-in. Right forward pocket for Fitzroy. Another minute gone. We're 24 minutes in. Bobby, any score at Carlton?
Hasn't kicked it yet, Tim.
That is a world record, although Rice, as you say, is going off. Boundary throw in forward pocket for the Roy's. Taken out of the air by Hawking, but he's met heavily. Emerging is Dunkley of the Sydney Swans. Gets the hand pass to centre half back to Dent. Quick hand pass across to Barker. Johnny Barker, 30 out, unguarded goal. And what's he done? Has he put it through? I think he has. A goal to Fitzroy. Kick by Barker. That's his first. Fitzroy 6-8, Sydney 26-8. Bobby, what's happening at Princess Park?
He didn't make the distance, but it was snapped up by the little rover Matthew Allen for a quick snap, and it's a goal. 11 points up Carlton, 11-16, 82. Brisbane 10-11, 71, and by sheer coincidence it was Matthew Allen who replaced Rice.
What's the time on the clock there, Bobby?
23 minutes.
We're 25 minutes almost here, 26-8 to 6-8. Sydney's biggest ever score against Fitzroy. Sydney's or South Melbourne's for that matter. From the ball up, Fitzroy looked like emerging. Manson's hand pass stolen by Kelly to McRae, to Lewis on the burst out of the centre. Kicking towards half forward. Here comes Tony, but he's clean bowled, and it should be taken by Johnson. Knocks it backwards towards Zanotti, almost in the goal square. Cool as you like, the wild bull of the Pampas. Spots Worry out in the back pocket, delivers to him. Worry goes long in the Manson direction, misses him, but finds touch nicely. The ball landing inside and then over the line for a throw-in. Just 4 to the wing for the Swans.
Sydney by 120 points. Dying moments of this match. Played in bright sunshine, a beautiful day, about 19 degrees. And the crowd just over 7,000. They've sent a terrific display by Tony. 15 goals. Now through the pack, it's kicked by Creswell up towards half forward. Clean bowls Bays. Mellington doubling back for the Roy's at centre half back. Comes out wide. It's going to go short to Arnott, I think. Baldwin comes in, chops it off. The Swans have 3-on-1. Baldwin does well. The ball kicked off the ground by Johnson, and it's been marked further down the field by a teammate in Paxman. Paxman's hand pass. It goes back and it's cleared by Chandler towards the half forward, but Dunkley in front kicks a high ball. It's going to land at centre half forward. Pluggers back in the goal square. Here's the chance now for Brunton. Can he nudge it out to someone? No. Desperation by Fitzroy, picked up by Baldwin. Gets the hand pass to Chandler. He in turn gets the hand pass to a Fitzroy player who's been pinged for holding the ball. Advantage paid. Crawford gives it to Kickett. Lockett leads. Will he go short? He does. Lockett's got it on the chest. Oh, good play, Kickett.
It was magnificent play by a teammate who's a sharing and caring person.
Wasn't he, though? That was great to see.
He just waited, he committed his body. He could have been attacked. He just waited and said, come on, Tony, for God's sake, do something.
He's 20 metres out directly in front. This is by far the easiest shot or attempt today by Big Tony.
And this is to break Bob Pratt's 61-year-old record for South Melbourne or Sydney.
Yes, he kicked 15 goals, 3. Tony has kicked 15, and this should be 16. It's true. I'm not sure. I think he's put it through. Yes, he's broken the record. A new Sydney Swans South Melbourne record. Lockett has kicked 16 goals straight as Sydney go to 27 goals, 8 to Fitzroy, 6-8. Bobby Skilton.
Carlton by 11 points, 11-16, 82. Brisbane 10-11, 71. But Milham is about to have a shot on about a 30-degree angle in from the boundary and easily kickable.
West Coast now lead by 116 points. West Coast 22-20, 152. Lead Adelaide 4-12-36.
Lockett 16, and that's his personal best. He's never done that before. Is there time for another one? There might be, as Bizzotto overran the ball. Brunton a chance, puts the Swans into attack to half forward. Millington in the way. Oh, just did enough to be paid the mark. I thought it was a mark, and umpire McBurney agrees. Just forward of the 50, kicks out wide and has a good target as it's accepted gleefully by Paxman between halfback and wing. He comes short inboard to Chandler. Had a lot of possessions, this little bloke. How many, Jack? 14. I thought he'd had a few more than that. He gives off a hand pass to Mellington running out of defence. Mellington drives it up towards half forward. Kelly in front takes a strong mark. Pike coming from behind, a bigger man tried to punch it away, but Kelly held on. He's been a star. He kicks to the wing, backing back, brave mark taken by Crawford. Hand pass inside to Brunton, gets it back to Crawford, blazes with the left. Zanotti attacks the ball. How will it bounce? Oh, Zanotti traps it beautifully, just as well he did, and he chips to Chandler for another possession.
But takes the mark at centre half back. Then he gets the hand pass away to Paxman, over the top to Baldwin. Runs up towards the middle of the Western Oval. There's the siren. It's all over. Lockett on 16, and good to see Zanotti and Lockett exchange hands, and that's what I love about this game. They fought vigorously there for a while when Lockett was taken off before half-time, and when the siren went, Tony taking the points over 3 opponents today. The first thing Zanotti did was extend his hand, and that is fantastic. Lockett 16 goals, but the final score at the Western Oval, Sydney 27-8, 170. Fitzroy 6-8-44. We'll give you the goal kickers in just a moment, as there's a film crew out in the middle of the Western Oval.
Crews.
A couple of crews there to do an interview with Tony Lockett. Bobby Skilton, the latest from the Princess Park.
Carlton by 12 points, 11-17, 83. Brisbane 10-11, 71. 28 minutes, almost 29. And the scoreboard has been putting a running tally of Tony Lockett.
Good stuff. Ray Walker.
Yes, it's West Coast, Tim, by 122 points. West Coast 23-20, 158. Lead Adelaide 4-12-36. We've been playing 17 minutes.
Smooth, I must give you a pat on the back. We ummed and ahed early in the week about what we should do today. We thought about taking the game from the West because Adelaide was still alive. Well, it was a shellacking either way, but we got the big one. Lockett 16 goals. It's been a very exciting day.
It certainly has. 27-8. I better write it down on the footy record before it goes off the board, although I'm sure Jack will have it for me anyway. 6-8-44. Paul Roos is down there. He's come out with a big thigh bandage on, full of ice, to congratulate Tony Lockett. The second siren is gone, which is a bit dangerous because Lockett hasn't left the arena yet. In fact, he's about to go up the race now, but plenty of police around to guard him anyway. And I'm sure the Fitzroy supporters, who weren't too happy with him at one stage just before half-time, would be certainly full of admiration for his unblemished 16-goal performance. 27-8, 170 the Sydney Swans, 6-8-44 Fitzroy. Lockett 16, 3 to Kapler and 3 to Kelly.